Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Hate Journals. It is your girl Black Mamba, and of course,
BZ.
back again, baby BZ. Hi, boo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Eternally frustrated.
Yeah, I think that's what we were saying on our Fridays. Frustrated Friday.
Frustrated Friday.
I feel a little frustrated. I was with my sister, and she just did this the whole time. Every time I spoke, especially in the car on our way to Home Depot, and then when we met at Ulta, and I was in Ulta just bitching, and she was like, and I was like, I'm in a fucking mood today, and she's like, you are? And I was like, oh, okay.
She's like, I couldn't tell.
She is a big cheerleader of mine, though, so she's all for it.
Yes,
She's
gotta
never
have
going to tell
somebody
me
who
to
lets
simmer
you.
out.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody
Yeah.
who allows you to vent.
Yeah.
And that's why one of the reasons why we started this podcast was because you cannot have friends who you complain to and then you hang up and they're like, that bitch is crazy. That bitch is, she said she'd light the entire Volkswagen place on fire. She can't say those things. They really will take that seriously. And I don't need to explain all of...
Mark, this bitch says she's going to light that entire place on fire.
Yeah.
I was like, you won't believe what they did. And it's one of those things.
Right.
Where it's like, let me tell you how frustrated she is.
That's all it is.
That's all that is.
You got to have someone who you can confide in.
Versus calling secret witness.
If a building burns down and I live next door and the cops come knocking, you're not going to be the bitch that sells me out that goes, no, she would never do something like that. But there was this one time that she said she'd burn down Volkswagen.
Yeah, everything's always hypothetical with me. I'm just
always
speaking.
I'm just angry. I'm
just
raging.
Angry. I'm raging. Yeah, I have a little bit of a rage issue sometimes. Not like rage, not where I'm like thinking I can like Hulk out. It's just verbally, it's very disgusting.
You and I have a very quick mouth. I think
Very.
you, AP, and I all share that. We can legitimately break you down with just words. Just
my favorite
words.
Way to explain it is I was like, I'm going to be the female Eminem in just a minute. Nothing's going to rhyme.
I like it.
But I'm going to make you cry.
Nothing's going to rhyme, but I'm
going to make you cry. I'm ready. Like, you're not going to be able to... There's no comeback. There's no comeback tour for you.
Yeah.
You're done. If you want to go there...
Just don't blame me, though, is my thing. You know who I am. I'm reliably the same person.
Fuck around and find out, man.
If you want to come into the tiger's den, and I always like to tell people, too, if I'm at work and I'm not having a great week, I will say I'm not having a good day.
Yeah.
That is your inclination to just come at me with some real basic bitch shit today. Yeah. Don't come with some out of hands, doing a lot of, that's how you get me amped. And then I'm going to go to 20 without even knowing I'm there. I told my therapist that today. I said... Sometimes I get to 20 and I don't even know. By the time I'm coming back down, I realize, oh my God, I went to 20.
I have done that too, where I'll be
you know what I mean?
And I always acknowledge that. Like, I'll be like, shit, sorry, that came out way worse than I intended.
1000%.
I said it, and it's nothing mean. Like, I think when people think about it and what we're talking about on the Hate Journals, it's not like we're never saying anything to purposely hurt somebody.
I'm not like going up to people being like, die.
No. Or like calling them all these obscenities to their face and doing all these terrible things. It's a vocalization where if I say, the fucking roads around here.
Right.
But it's how I say it. It's
correct.
I'm like, oh my God, did you take 395 South? It's just
bananas out there.
It's just like a banana split, and I'm just gonna fly through the air type of shit, or whatever fucking metaphor you want to use.
Yeah.
But it's an actual verbal attack.
Yes.
On how inconvenient it is and how I cannot stand our roads around here, which that also has not changed.
I think it's gotten worse. People are going slower. I'm not really sure what that's about.
I'm like, dude, that merger's been there for like 3 months. And this is the 40-year highway project. Tell me where else in the U.S. they actually have a highway known as like the 40-year freeway.
If you, in your area where you live, if they have put up one of those lights on the freeway, when you get on the freeway, that's the green, red, green, red, green, red, back and forth. Then you and the people who live in your neighborhood, look around you, knock on the doors, look around you when you're at your local 7-Eleven. Those are idiots because they're so dumb. They've yet to figure out how to fucking merge onto the road.
Like a zipper.
And so they said, you are so stupid. We're going to walk you through this every morning. That's how dumb you all are.
Every morning.
I want people to understand that.
Do you know
when
where
they see that, you're
those
an
lights
idiot.
are at? All of you Reno people.
Yeah.
Not us Sparks people. We don't have those.
Well, that's because you guys are awful. You know why? Because you guys are like our adopted kids.
Yeah, we just
and we're like
attention.
the original kids. Yeah, they're like, we take care of our homegrown, and we'll get to you guys when we get to you.
Yeah, I am on
Poor
an
Sparks
outskirt.
sometimes really gets the after looks.
Well, you know.
It is.
Bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. The roads around here have not changed.
They said in Sparks, we're not even going to improve downtown Victoria. Like, fuck it. Let's just start building further out and we'll improve that shit. You can come the opposite way to Sparks.
Did down in Victorian, and I get what they're trying to accomplish.
What are they doing?
It's like, my understanding, this is a perspective from what I've seen, because it was a dead town down there. I mean, you had a horrible amount of shops that were out of business. It was just casino driven. And mostly old casinos. And the casino driven thing is like, you have to anticipate that people will come out of the Nugget to then go do those things. And then you had a movie theater. And that was it. But what was nice, it was how open it was for Hot August nights, rib cook-off, parade events, things like that, which is ruined. It's absolutely ruined. And it's just like they're trying to create like a mini little downtown lifestyle. Does that make sense? Because you park in a parking garage. Yeah, it's like a midtown with high-risers. Midtown isn't great. But they built one of those buildings on like a parking garage structure that was already there.
It's so bizarre.
It makes me nervous.
We do really weird stuff.
Makes me nervous.
We do really weird things.
And I think it just looks really, really bad. I'm not going to lie. And
I think
they ruined there's no downtown Sparks.
There is not. It's just another road. Bill goes, you guys are trying to be a big city. I go, we'll never be a big city. We're actually just trying to be like Portland.
We have a really, if you think about it, we're not condensed like most of these major cities.
Right.
We're very suburban driven.
We're just spread out. Even in our main drag area, it's very
spread out. It's very interesting and how many outlying areas we have to live and do stuff.
We'll just never be like that. And I think mostly it's because it is. Do you ever see someone's home and they have like antiques and stuff, right? Like antique tables, really beautiful, fun stuff.
Yeah, they smell when you walk in. There's a smell, dude. There is a smell to those type of houses. And it's a particular smell, and every single one of those houses
it's
smells
death.
the same.
Yeah, it's death.
Yeah, like they're rotting from the inside. Yes, absolutely.
And then they're trying to redo it, right? They're like, it's time to like fluff up the house, give it some new pieces. But they go modern, and they start adding things that really don't go. They're like, I'm going to throw a modern lamp over here with this old ancient table, right? And you're like, this isn't... Like, it works, oddly, because I know you as a person, but it doesn't work.
It works, but it doesn't work.
Right? Because you're not sticking with a solid theme. And then I go in the kitchen, and it's all roosters. And then I go in the bathroom, and it's all a fucking country home living shit. And then I go into one of your bedrooms, and it's like modern.
And it's because they update it throughout a decade.
Correct. Instead of going, I'm going to do the whole house, or like the whole living room or whatever.
Yeah, so where it's complete. You can tell that they were like, you know what, right now, for this L shape, this 45 or 90, sorry.
Right.
I don't know my angles. This 90-degree area. This is 2001.
Right.
Then they get to it 2002.
Right.
And then they get to it 2003.
Yes.
And things drastically change in terms of culture. So if you were one of those people that never got rid of like their 90s green carpet, you're in fucking luck, because the 90s are coming back and you are going to be top-notch shelf with your putter green carpet.
And I like the blue. I like a good blue carpet. Like, so every once in a while I'll see a good blue carpet. But that's what we did here. That's what we did. We just, instead of us like getting rid of everything and starting again and going, all these businesses that they drove out, instead of them going, let's picture something. What they should have done was open it up to the city and go submit ideas. I'm being dead serious. Submit to the city your ideas of what kind of city you guys would like to live in downtown. And then take all that shit down, like the old Mapes and the old Fitzgerald. Stop taking what you have and moving new stuff into it, because it's the same old shitty building, and that's why it doesn't work. And you see time and time again all these businesses go through and try to redo, but it doesn't work because you're not getting rid of the fundamental. You're not getting rid of the old antique dresser. You're not getting rid of when I go into someone's house and they still have that old big stereo system
By the way, you can actually buy those.
Keep it.
For like $200 at Best Buy. I bought a little speaker for my outfit.
You really can, but keep it, right? I'm talking about the big sound system. I'm talking about the big one with the big speakers on the side.
Yes.
If you're gonna do it, but then don't integrate with, like, let's say Apple, because it just doesn't work. It doesn't work, right?
Correct.
Get rid of all of that. Get your HomePods. That's what we did. We're slowly, and Bill and I do it slowly.
And then like so like I love it when we go to like either SAC. And you just have like on those highways because it's all highway driven, right? And then you get off on roads, and you could be driving along the side of a highway on a
right.
Like, but anyways, because they're so like that. But they have all those plants in the middle, and it's just green and beautiful. And I know we live in the desert. Nobody needs to remind me. It's just there's things survive here, and it's not just like dirt. Because like when we go to Texas, it's just gorgeous around the freeways.
Oh, it is. It's very lush and beautiful.
It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then I
Atlanta
come home, and I'm like, wow, so they just chose like full shades of shit brown to paint the sides of these walls for a desert theme. And I'm not saying
we don't need a theme. We're in the desert.
It's like it's camouflage. What if I hit it? Can I sue the city? Question of the day.
Didn't see it, sir.
Didn't see it. It matches the dirt because you guys don't landscape it. Well, you guys landscape it with like a rock, and I like what they did on Veterans. That's actually looks really good.
Yes.
And how it's open. And I get like there's a system here that we can't do with our spaghetti bowls because of how the city grew over time. But those walls with like the metal trout, not everybody here fishes, man.
I just don't understand why didn't you open it up to the artistic people in the community? They could have gone to the art. I'm serious. Like,
what they've done down in Midtown and how awesome that thing is looking.
It looks really cool.
But what you have to take to get down there, it's just really ugly.
Oh, you want to shoot yourself in the face. But then the problem with Midtown is you go one block over, same shit. You go one block left. That's my point. Yeah. Is that you just moved in a new lamp into the old... Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been every time I go down there, I get frustrated now. There was an art sale, and I tried to call all my friends, but then everyone was working today, and then I didn't have my car because there's this really cute little art thing in the middle of like off of California Street, off of Brown Street. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There was a house, and they turned it into an art gallery.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You know that new house that everyone hates?
Yes.
The big modern one, which I'm like, I love that they're like, fuck you.
I like this house.
Oh, we can't? Oh, you said I can't build it? I think I will. Yes. And then everyone's like, well, we'll just sell our houses. They don't care. They're in their McMansion, and they're cool modern day. That's how you do it. There was a house that was there before. They tore that shit down, and they are artists, I believe. I believe they own the Nevada Museum of Art.
Okay.
I believe so. Anyways, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
They saw a vision, but they saw that you have to do the whole vision. I saw them out there today, and they're landscaping with all these really cool trees, and they're adding a huge community garden right there. It's another property of a house that they sold. They just tore down the fucking house and said, we'll build a community garden right here. Mm-hmm. I think that's what you have to do. You got to start again, or you don't do anything at all. That's it, Reno. I don't know what we're in Sparks. I don't know what we're doing, but it is wonky. I've used that word today twice. I'm going to use it for a third. Wonky. It is wonky, honey.
It's wonky.
Okay, so last week we kind of went over like an overview of SexLife.
Yeah.
We were like, we're here for it. Okay.
Yeah, it was a really quick, like, how am I? How are you?
Correct.
Let's talk about SexLife. Let's cut the episode.
Yes. Okay. So I have rewatched again, which it goes so much faster when you rewatch it.
Because you just know you're like, oh, whatever.
And there were a few things that I did catch in there that I didn't catch the first time.
Yeah.
Even when they were first, and we'll go through it, but when he first came home and she was outside with the kids.
And you could tell there was that awkward tension.
I thought that was the morning time.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not the morning.
No.
That was definitely...
Because she was still wearing her muumuu.
That's... Yeah.
Or her sheet.
Okay, so we're going to get there. Let me go to my favorites because I saved...
And I ain't no fucking... Listen, what did I say to AP the other day when I saw her? Said I ain't no dime piece, but I'm still a dime if you shine me up real good. You know what I mean? So I know there's not a lot of room for me to speak on some things. But at the end of the day, I am still worth 10 fucking cents. You know what I mean? A little polished bitch. It's pretty much her reaction as well. She was like, what'd you just say? Because I was complaining about something.
I know, my friend.
That occurred. Oh, Mark did shave off his beard.
Oh, he did. I came home. I thought about you the other day because I came home and Bill tried to give himself a goatee. I was like, what is that?
No.
Absolutely not. Get that off of your face.
He goes, never.
You don't like the I said, I don't know what you were going for, but you didn't nail it. And don't you ever again go off script. You have a script, you stay in your fucking lane. I don't know how many times I could tell you.
Yeah, he didn't like bareface it. It was just like when we got married, but he had like, he tried to explain to me I stared at him probably in combined after I got home at like 2:30 that day from here. And I probably between that and going to bed at like 10, which is late for us, was a good 3 hours of just staring.
Of just staring.
And because he'd be like, why are you staring at me? And it's legitimately because I thought I had a stranger in my house.
Right. You're like, sir, can you get out of here?
He would come
My husband's going to be home in any moment.
I would do that. He came in from the garage and I like screamed and I was like, stranger danger. And Miles is screaming like,
because he doesn't know why you're screaming.
No.
But he's gang.
He's gang. And
that's what I love about your son. He is gang.
Yeah, he knew I was.
Gang. Yeah, he knew.
Mark's like, are you serious?
And you're like, I got him in on the bed too.
Goes to give me a kiss. And I was like, excuse me, I'm fucking married.
Sir, married. Take a hint. Weirdo.
I was like, my husband built like a lumberjack. He's gonna fuck you up when he gets home. So it was upsetting. I was very upset. And then,
I don't know why men will stop. And I get it, like women change our looks.
He
but
did
like
it to retrain his beard because his beard was so big.
Yeah.
And he did it to retrain it, recondition it, help its growth to not be where it was. It's just he hasn't had that short of hair in 7 fucking years.
You know what we should do? We've got to get you either like a weird like bald cap.
Oh, I told him, I was like, I'm coming home with red fucking hair or something. Like it was an
insult.
He would
look so amazing as a redhead.
That's what Alicia said too. And my, and
Mark, that like deep red.
A deep red. My mother's a redhead.
Yeah.
My sister's a redhead.
Yes, I've
exactly.
Seen that. Yeah.
But then Mark looked at me and was like, what? And I was like, no permission.
Yeah, well,
no ask.
See, I don't ask. I don't ask, Bill. I just like new things are happening on this head. Buckle in. But the difference is, I've never made decisions that were grave for both of us.
The beard was
I've never come home and he's been like, "The fuck are you, bitch? What is this?" Like if I come home and you do that, but I have done that with him.
I did that with him.
Actually, he's come out of the bathroom and I've been like, "What happened in there? Mm-hmm. What in the fuck happened,
what happened
in there?"
Yeah.
You were only in there for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got a big morning routine.
And he got... We're only in there for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
He
says, I'm like, I do not take any time at all. You were in there.
It's me. I'm the long one.
He's singing. He's sudsing up. I don't know what he does. Honestly, I have no idea what goes on in there because he keeps the door tightly shut. And a few times I've tried to like peek in. Have you ever tried to peek in on your husband and they just lose their shit? They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I have had your penis in my mouth. I'm pretty sure I can see whatever's going on in here.
I straight walk in. No questions asked. I don't care.
No, he knows I'm a walker in her. So he positions
not the bathroom thing though. I don't do that.
Well, no, I always tap or I listen, but if he's in there singing along, I assume he's not taking a dump while singing. So when he's got like usually the music going, and I hear him doing like, he's like, so I'll open the door sometimes just slowly, but he positions his body right where the knob is so he can immediately shut it down. Immediately, he's like, VIP bitch, get out of here. VIP's full bitch, get out of here.
It's like it's like his self-care time.
And I don't ever want to take that away. I just want to make sure we're not cutting the hair off or...
Dude, I went and checked on Miles in the shower the other day because he's fully independent, right?
Right.
But he wanted to, of course, because when he's taking a shower, it's the most important time to talk to me. So I have to stand in that humidity because he likes hot showers. So it's all humid in the bath. And I just have to be like, oh my God, dude, I don't want to be in here.
I love that he makes you be his audience member.
Oh, he does. And I decided to peek in the shower.
Yeah.
Just because of like how I heard the water.
Yeah, you were like, something's up.
I was like, what are you doing? And I look in and the kid, is sitting on the ground on his back, arm back up against the back of the tub because it's like a tub shower thing. And the water from the shower head is just slapping him, hitting him. And he's filling up the tub. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, filling up the tub. And he's just working for it. It's just like, you would have thought he had like a moment in his life where he's like,
yeah, smart.
And I was like, there was one of those things where I was like, okay, can you start washing? And I just closed the curtain.
Yeah, he's like, mind your own business. I don't go into your shower.
Yeah, and I went out to Mark and I was like, have you ever peeked behind the curtain? Because we have glass in our bathroom. Yeah. There's a curtain in his. And he was like, yeah. He sits on the ground and fills up the tub. And I was
he knew.
Like,
He knew what was going on.
They're best friends.
Yeah.
I had no idea. He's like, yeah, he does it all the time. I was like, he looked depressed.
So when I was his age, I used to do the same thing. Because I used to say to my mom, she'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I remember telling her, I'm just exhausted. You know what I mean? I got to go deal with these fucking kids today for 8 hours. It's a lot.
Yeah.
These bitches I live with, they're not great. These hoes are fucking, hoes be tripping.
Make me see my grandparents.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I got a full, listen, I got a packed day, Mom. Okay?
I've been to 2 houses and a school today. What do you want
I've got my trombone and my clarinet because I'm an overachiever. I also have tennis practice and softball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm up early. I'm in bed late.
Yeah.
You're on my ass about fucking getting to my deadlines. And then I got to go deal with 10 other grown-ups who pretend like they know what they're doing, but I know they don't.
Yeah.
I've seen Mr. Greenfield outside of school, and he was walking with his shoes untied, and he screams at me every day, and he was walking for at least 20 minutes. I tracked him with fucking I'm stressed out, and I just want to lay in this tub and have the water slap me in the face while the tub fills up.
And it's hot water, too, because he's my child.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. And he literally was just like, had his arms.
Yeah, he's just, yeah.
I was like, okay.
You have to give up. This is what I've learned in the morning.
I was like, all right, dude, do you?
Give up first thing in the morning, and then the rest of your day is a breeze.
That's a good idea.
I get up out of bed knowing I've already given up. And then I let the water beat on my face.
That's a good idea.
If I could lay down, I would lay down and let the water beat on my face. But I know that I'm a grown adult, and if Bill walks in and peeks behind my shower door and sees me lying in the fucking a tub of water while the water's just slapping me in the face, he's gonna be like, "So should we call the therapist again?" Or
yeah, you're like, "So I'm just gonna go make a quick phone call."
Do you want me to ring Terry, or should you want to do it on your own? What do you want to? Should you want to do like a speaker FaceTime thing, or
I'll get you a waterproof.
Yeah, so I totally understand what he's saying. Yeah. Okay, right. So I thought it would be really great to do basically like a walkthrough of the episode 1 and episode 2.
Yes.
And then as we're going through it, we can just chime in. You can just tell me what you're thinking.
Got it.
Tell me your thoughts. I made a lot of notes. Okay, I made a lot of notes.
It's going to be like a sensory thing.
It's really great.
Blindfold so I can strictly focus and say the first words that come to my mind.
That's right.
It's my spirit box.
It's like, what's the one with Steve Harvey? Family Feud. It's like family. You gotta be like ready. You gotta be pa-pa-pa. Ready. Pa-pa-pa-pa. Pa-pa-pa.
Fucking beeper.
That's right. Okay, so episode 1 was titled "The Wives Are in Connecticut." Okay, so episode 1, season 1 begins with a look at Billie and her idyllic life. She lives in a big house, has 2 kids, including her cute eldest son called Hudson.
Yes.
She also has a very handsome husband, Cooper. I added the very because he is very handsome.
Oh, yeah.
Except I don't like men who are so Caucasian and blonde that the outline of their lip is also just fair. So you can't see where, like, there's no color on their lip or on the widow. You know what I mean?
On the widow.
What do they call it? The Cupid's bow. Your Cupid's bow.
Yes, that's what it is. I was like widow peaking. He does not have.
He does not have widow peaking, which I find very attractive in a man or a woman. When I was little, I always wanted one. But
just one.
I don't like just like one widow. Just one. I was gonna go for 2, and then I thought,
okay,
yeah, really deep. Yeah. Okay. Is the perfect life right? Well, Billie is itching for more. Cooper offers stability and sanity, but Billie, you bitch. Hold on, guys. I really went to 50 Shades of, oh, no, you don't.
You're like you didn't even finish this.
I didn't.
Let's get through the monologue,
I didn't. Sorry. Okay. Billie is itching for more. Cooper offers stability and sanity, but Billie wants excitement and passion in her life. With 2 kids and an enthralling ball game on TV, that's easier said than done. As Billie looks after her baby, she fantasizes about the past. In doing so, she completely forgets to kiss Hudson goodnight, which, no, she didn't. Unless she's a liar. Because in that scene, when she's in the bedroom after they're in the bed, little Hudson walks in and goes, Mommy.
Yes.
And she goes, yes, Hudson. And he goes, you forgot to kiss me goodnight.
Yep.
And she says, no, I didn't. And he goes, yes, you did. And she goes, no, I didn't. You just don't remember. But that's okay, baby. Come here. So she's either a liar or Hudson's a liar. Someone's fucking lying in this house, okay? And when that first fucking scene starts and she's doing her little memoir,
yeah,
he comes home and I saw her walk out to see what Hudson was doing. And Hudson has a butterfly trapped in a glass.
Yes. And then she decides to help him let it go.
So is that we're to assume that the butterfly represents her. Because she goes, you can't keep a butterfly inside of a jar. Its wings are very fragile, and you have to let it fly free. You have to be very careful with butterflies. Am I wrong? Is the butterfly supposed to represent her?
So like she had to have first been the caterpillar. Well, what are those little white things? A maggot. That like morphs into like a caterpillar, right? When they grow. I mean, when they're small, they're ugly.
Yeah.
She was this like caterpillar. And then she could
definitely not a maggot, because that's a different.
Okay.
It's like a different.
They're all ugly.
They're all ugly.
They're all nasty.
Yeah.
Caterpillars
definitely
that's to say, if you're doing like a butterfly effect situation, in a way. I know what you're saying, because I know what the butterfly effect is. But so she had to have been, so her pre-Brad, she was a caterpillar. And she was in a cocoon where she was fucking living her life, metamorphosis.
Right. Hard.
Literally
and figuratively hard.
Getting hard in that cocoon.
Yes.
Getting in hard in that
cocoon. Get it in.
And then all of a sudden, there's crack in that cocoon. And then she had to come out of the cocoon.
Right.
And flap, and then she's in her life with Cooper because it's the freedom that she's always needed.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because when she was talking to
Hudson, real deep, but that's the only thing I can think of. Is in order to get
you're right.
You had to start off as a caterpillar, and where was the metamorphosis? Where was the change?
Where was the change? Because really,
change was Brad.
You didn't change. You just changed who you were with. You didn't really change you, and we're going to get into that in a minute, because she was talking to Hudson like she was trying to explain to him why mommy's going insane. She was like, listen, okay? Mommy's a butterfly.
She did.
She's literally walking him through. Mommy needs, and instead of saying mommy, she's just saying butterfly. Like, just take what she's saying and replace it with butterfly. She's the butterfly. And she's like, you can't keep a butterfly captured into a glass container. You need to let a butterfly be free and flap its wings. And they're very delicate.
Like, to just, trickle a brain thought out is, we live in a democracy for the most part, and you can just fucking go whenever you want.
Literally. So literally, that's the only thing that I didn't understand is why she was explaining like her husband was abusive almost, and that like he was like stifling her and
like
keeping her
smother her flame.
Yes, and trying to keep her in a jar.
Yeah.
Which so it just opens up to that scene. You haven't even met her husband yet.
Correct. She's
saying all this to the little boy, and if you were to go off of just what she's saying, you would assume that her husband was a piece of shit.
Yes.
Because he's controlling, won't let her do. Okay. Fast forward.
Like, she looked at that butterfly and said, oh, you're so lucky.
And that's why I thought it was morning time. I thought she's getting the kids ready for breakfast. He's out playing. She's like, go play while I get breakfast ready and then come back in the house.
Was she wearing her white moo-moo?
She was wearing the white moo-moo thing. She
was, yeah.
So then he comes out. The
Looking
little boy
fresh.
runs to him, which, by the way, super normal. That's what kids do when their parents come home.
Haven't seen that parent all day.
Parents come in the house, they say hi to the children and hi to their spouse. That's literally the order it's always gone in.
Yes.
I don't know what the big deal is. They're not like kicking the kid down, kissing their wife, and then, get back over here.
Yeah.
These are your spawn. Even if you leave, bitch, these kids are still with me. They're still my kids.
Yes.
So he says to her, then he says to his newborn baby, hi, beautiful. And she gets upset, almost jealous at the fact that he is talking to a newborn baby and not her. And as he picks up the baby,
jump to her.
She goes passive aggressively, well, I was going to change today, but I didn't have time. How, why, when, and where? Because you have a nanny. So when didn't you have time to change in between working? Oh, that's right. You don't work. You have a housekeeper who cleans the house. You have a nanny who cleans the house and takes care of the kids, makes them food, activities.
That's the best part about having a nanny with a newborn.
That's the whole point of having a nanny.
Like,
so you're not too tired.
One time my mom came over after Miles was born so I could go take a 30-minute shower without panicking about feedings or this or that. And she was like, and maybe brush your teeth. It's been like 2 days. And I was like, oh. It has. And that's the perk. You literally have somebody there every day for 12 hours a day. And then who you ask to always stay and like take care of your kids.
Right. And then it gets even better because then when the husband comes out, greets her, and then he's like weirdo and he fucking weird stranger. And then he kisses her. And then he says, she does go like, how was work? Like, but like, you know when someone asks you, but they don't really like give a fuck? That's how she asked him. At least that's how I felt. The next thing out of this dude's mouth, he's excited to see her. He's excited to see his kids. He didn't walk outside with a beer in his hand.
And go, what are you wearing?
Correct. The first thing he does is he walks out to the backyard, doesn't stop, put his briefcase down. He has his briefcase and jacket in his hand. He greets all of them first, then says, I'm going to go upstairs, change. I'm going to mow the lawn. You've got people on the inside of the house helping you. The outside, I didn't even hire help. I'm going to mow the lawn after a long day of work. And then all I want to do, this is literally what he says to her, all I want to do is watch the game. I just want to have a beer and watch the game.
Like, I need to decompress. I've had a
day. He tells her the game plan.
If in to read between the lines is he's had a day. So,
but still came home in a great positive mood.
Saw those kids.
He was excited when he walked. Had a lot of exuberance when he walked in outside.
Yeah.
This bitch's hair looks wild. She hasn't showered. She's got a muumuu on. And again, I'm not saying she's a bad mother or a bad wife. I'm saying if you're going to raise the expectation, then you must meet the expectation as well. Because this dude came home from providing for his family, then said, I'm going to mow the lawn. Because I don't have anyone doing that for me. Just want to watch the game.
Yeah. That's it.
Just want to watch the game. So then, as he says all of this, she makes a list and she starts going in her brain, mentally making a list of all the men she's fucked. So she starts saying, you know, I've fucked all sorts of men and I've had great sex life, she says. I've had a great sex life, she says. I have fucked tons of men. And the screen starts flashing and you see all these different men she's fucked over the years.
Yeah.
And by the way, they're fucking her in all different places.
Yeah.
Bathrooms, stalls, kitchens, bedrooms, offices, at school. You can tell that she is fucked in a lot of different places and has had a fairly adventurous, what someone would consider a fairly adventurous single.
Single. Sex life.
Sex life.
Total polygamy, just living her life.
Living her best life.
Just doing her thing.
And then she says shortly after that,
yeah,
here's all the reasons why I broke up with these dudes, right? And some are yelling at her, verbally abusive, you would assume. Ghosted. I think a couple of them they ghosted her.
Yeah.
A couple looked like physically to the brink of being physical, but weren't. Cheating, that sort of thing, right? And she says all that changed when she met
Cooper.
Cooper's
Brad. Yeah.
When she met Brad, all that changed when she met Brad, right? And then she touches on it, but doesn't get into it. So then you fast forward, and we're back now. They're in the bedroom.
Yeah, that was awkward. That was an awkward scene.
They're chilling.
He's chilling.
Actually, I take that back because before that scene, they're actually in the bathroom. Here's where I had a big problem with her. This is when I started, because you know you watch something and you're like, I don't like this bitch, but I couldn't remember why. Oh, I remember why now. So the next scene is she's fed the kids. The nanny's downstairs feeding the kids, doing, again, her job. I'm like, when does this fucking nanny get off? When does this bitch get to get the fuck off?
Never.
She goes upstairs and he's like, I'm going to get in the shower. You would presume he's mowed the lawn. Now he's going to get in the shower. And while he's talking, he's telling her about his whole day. And you can see the excitement in his face. He's like, I'm fucking killing it at work. Yeah,
mergers, this, that. Fucking,
boom.
I'm going to make partner.
My fucking boss is all about me.
Yep.
Fucking blah, blah, blah. Totally invested in me. And the entire time he's talking, she's just like looking at his dick. Thinking about all the other men she's fucked. She is not invested in this dude. Not even a skosh.
No.
Not even a skosh. To the point where he says to her as he's getting in the shower, and she's like, look at his body. He just has a beautiful body.
Yeah.
His phone rings. He answers it and he shows her and goes, it's my boss. Picks it up, talks to her, comes back in, starts talking about his work again. And she goes, what? And he goes, did you not listen to a thing I just told you? Mm-hmm. I just told you about my whole day at work. I was excited and you weren't even listening. Mm-hmm. And she goes, I'm sorry. And he's like, okay. Goes to get in the shower and she's just gawking at him kind of awkward and weirdly. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, okay, so let's just say his work is super boring. Mm-hmm. Still, don't be rude.
Yeah.
He's still your husband.
Yes.
You can not understand or grasp what he's talking about because you don't work in that field.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can still appreciate the excitement and that he's excited about this and you want him to do well, and it appears that he is doing well.
And he wanted to tell you.
It wasn't from it.
It wasn't prideful. It wasn't gloating. It was, hey babe, look what I'm doing.
Right. Like I'm so
just a friendship talk. A best friendship talk, because that's who your best friend is. Yeah, it's just you telling your best friend, the one person you'd want to tell. Yeah, he'll tell his guy friends, but they're going to bullshit, do this, do that, and they're going to get into some talk. But when they're talking to you, they're talking to you. And they're telling you everything they wouldn't tell anybody else. And they're saying it in a way they would never say it to anybody else. That's literally what's occurring.
That's the great thing about being married, I think, is having a best friend, somebody that you don't feel like you need to like go to the bar after work and decompress with a bunch of pals and tell them about your fucking day, or people that you work with and decompress about your day, because you got this like best friend who you can go home and be like, remember all those characters? Let's bring them back up, and here's the good, here's the bad, here's the ugly.
Exactly.
But you weren't even doing your part as a friend. Like if you were a friend, you're a shitty friend. You're not paying attention. You're not invested.
No.
At all.
I could be having the worst day. And one of my girlfriends is having a terrible day too. I'm not going to say, well, my day, I'm not listening because my day was worse. I will listen. Now, if I don't, like if it's through text or something and I don't always respond right away, I am very busy at work. It's just one of those things where it's a forgetful thing.
Yeah.
And it's not because I forgot about you, but I will always circle back.
Always.
But if you need my focused attention, they'll usually call.
Right.
And be like, listen. And I'll be like, I'm here for you. It doesn't matter how shitty of a day I had. I'm not like, well, you know what, dude? I had a really bad fucking day and I can't handle this. It's like, okay, talk to me.
And all friends, that's how friendships know that, right? Work. You know that if we're texting and I'm in a bad mood, that's one thing. But if I call you, you're like, let me pick up, because this bitch is clearly some shit's popping off.
Like if she can't text me the issue, correct. If she calls me the issue, there's a problem.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I was surprised that she was, because I obviously had watched episode 1 and all of the episodes already. Mm-hmm. So I already knew this shit she was going to be talking to him later. And I'm thinking to myself, you fucking bitch. Mm-hmm. You fucking bitch.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
In any point, so let's devil advocate it here. At any point, I don't remember, he never once said, how was your day?
To her?
Yeah, did he ever invest in her?
He did. When he got outside to her first, he goes, how are you? How was your day? And that's when she said, sorry, I didn't shower and I didn't.
Okay, so he did ask. That's right.
I got so busy that I never actually showered and changed, is what she said to him.
Okay, so she didn't tell him shit about her day.
It wasn't like she said,
oh, it was great. Hudson did this, or I talked to my dad about that, or.
And he was just like blank staring at her.
Yeah.
No, he asked her. And then I think when they first were upstairs, you actually never get to hear how the conversation even starts because she's already daydreaming.
Yes.
You go from her fucking all these dudes to her in the bathroom doing this in the fucking mirror. Mm-hmm. And he walks in and he's like talking to her and he goes, hey, you okay? And she's like, yeah. He goes, oh, okay, yeah. I was just telling you about my day. It was really exciting that big thing closed. You could just tell he couldn't wait to tell her.
Yes.
And that's the worst feeling when like you're really pumped about something that you've done and you go to tell your significant other and they just look at you like, cool. I asked, did you want chicken or fish tonight?
Yeah, and they're not invested.
And it really does. My husband's done it without realizing it. I know I've done it to my husband.
I know I've done it too.
Without realizing it. I would never do that on purpose. Mm-hmm. And the look of disappointment, like that look, is so hurtful. I'm like, oh my God, I'm
sorry, I'm invested.
I'm invested. Let's start again. I really am. I had a shitty day. It's not a you thing. I am so sorry. Start again.
Like my brain's just fried, but I'm listening.
That's it. And I feel like we've all done that at some point.
Absolutely.
But she never actually acknowledged that. I don't feel like throughout the entire season, she never acknowledges the fact that she's actually absent. You can call him absent. You have the right to feel how you want to feel.
That
so regardless of how we look at it.
Long hours.
Correct.
So then he comes home and he's mowing the lawn, which is an exertion of the
Correct.
remaining energy bank from the whole day, which obviously was a hype day, so you know he's going to want to crash.
Right.
To you being like, okay, and then maybe because they don't really give a backstory too much about how it went wrong. They tell you throughout, like, okay, well...
See, but they don't. She does.
She does in a way.
But doesn't. She never really says what's wrong with their relationship other than...
the sex.
Only after the second baby.
Yes.
She never says... So okay. So then he gets in the shower. And then she starts talking about how they met. Mm-hmm. Which she does. She goes over it twice, but she kind of starts going into...
She does go over it twice.
Kind of how they met. Yeah, she goes in the beginning, I think episode 1. And I want to say episode 5 or 6, she does it again.
Well, she does it again because they give the backstory to Brad.
Yes.
And she's outside the school. So, but when they talk about how she met Cooper, they show it in just a quick... And that they had an immediate connection.
Yes, and that's what she says. She basically says how they had this immediate connection and how he was so romantic, and the first time he brought her to the house, and she talks about their sex life, and there's
meeting his family, yeah.
And the thing about Cooper, which was I found really great, and I think I wrote down here...
Well, because they showed the first sex scene, or their first sexual encounter, or whatever, and it's very, like, whimsical white sheets, very romantic. Not like what she had with Brad, which was straight fucking.
Literally straight fucking. And there's a dinner that they go to that they show,
fucking, in my opinion,
with her family.
Yeah.
And it's them at the dinner table. Mm-hmm. And her mom's being a fucking bitch. Mm-hmm. And cutting her down. And he not only backs her up, sticks up for her, has her back, but then doesn't talk shit about her family.
Correct. He's like, I'm going to put her in her place, but there's no need to say what I already know.
Like, this dude has your back.
Absolutely.
He gave you a home. He was like, this house was this. I thought of this house and I thought of you. I thought of us. I could see us here. Yeah. What do you think? He didn't say we're going to live here. He was like, I want to give this to you, but do you want it? And she said, yes. Mm-hmm. He backed her up. She's showing all these great highlights. Then when they're fucking, and then she brings the covers down and they're in the bed. Mm-hmm. And he is clearly watching this game. He looks tired. Mm-hmm. He looks zapped. Mm-hmm. And you can tell, when, like, when I'm in traffic and I'm almost home and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
What I want to do is get over on the shoulder and go as fast as this car can go and hit that pole about as hard as I can.
Oh, what?
Yeah, just so that I can get care flighted into a hospital bed where someone else can take care of me and I don't have to do this drive every day.
You mean you got a lot of bed sores in your future, that's for goddamn sure.
But you know what gets me through? I'm like, I just need to get home and have a Truly.
Yeah, just chill.
One ice cold, like I had it in the fridge. When I left for work, I put it in there because that's what I cling to.
You looked at it.
That
you're like,
one,
dude. When you're nice and ice cold today.
Oh, just and when you open it, a little bit gets on your hand, and you're like, oh, it's ice cold, just the way I like it.
I won't drink those that give me heartburn, but that's how I feel with White Claws. Or
yes, some people are whatever your demon is, Mm-hmm. And then right when I get in the door, I almost run inside. I'm so excited to get home, and then I take my bra off immediately. Right?
Feels so good.
And I take all my clothes off and I put on that big white shirt of Bill's and these really tight little shorts. And then I just go outside.
On a Saturday or Sunday, I'm actually usually taking a nap right now. It's so bad. I keep yawning. I'm so sorry. I'm not bored. I promise.
It's your nap time.
It's my nap time.
This is what I'm saying.
Man. My age has gotten me.
There are things that you cling to.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to go sit in the garage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a cocktail. And I'm going to watch live Instagram videos.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill comes out and I'm like an ogre under a tree. Mm-hmm. He'll come out sometimes and he'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, go back inside. No one asked for you.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
Because I just give me 30 minutes to do this.
Where it's quiet. It's where I literally I like to watch, that show Kindred Spirits. I do like it. I'm pretty obsessed with it. But you know what it is for me is like, it is what it is. There was a recent episode that definitely got my nerves a little racked. I was like, that's a little bizarre. But it's mindless TV for me.
It's mindlessness,
it's
right?
Mindlessness where I don't have to answer a call. I don't have to solve any employee's problem. I don't have to solve my problem or an owner's problem or
just nothing.
None of
my
my
brain
kids'
is
issues,
filled with nothing.
None of my husband's issues. And like, it's not like there's always issues. Work there is, but like home life there typically isn't. But I don't have to do anything.
I don't have to. I probably have to do things. I'm not going to.
And even if
this
I'm
30
sitting
minutes.
there watching that, I'm probably zoning out, thinking about a bunch of things. But it's it's non-conversational. Like, I'm not speaking out loud. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's interrupting my thought process. It's just mindless.
It's mindlessness at its best. And the weird part is that it's not like she hasn't worked before. She talks about going to school for multiple years. Mm-hmm. She talks about not only while she was going to school, she was working. Mm-hmm. And she says in those flashbacks, she was also had a very healthy dating life. So you were active. You know what it feels like to be busy. That feeling that I'm talking about when you're like, I can't do this on the road one more day. I don't think I can mentally do this. Yeah. You know that's not true. You know you're going to be fine. You know you're going to make it home. You're just annoyed. You're frustrated. And it's a Thursday. And you got one more day of work. And you're like, I got to get through one more day.
One more day.
Where's that truly? She knows what that feels like. Mm-hmm. So when the camera pans out and she is laying there pouting like a child. Mm-hmm. You could have pushed me over with a feather. And she's sitting there because I didn't remember how bad the pouting was, and she's just pouting.
And she's a psychologist, a child psychologist, but she's
Correct.
a psychologist.
Still.
So you don't just
I assume you go through the adult portion before you get to the kids.
Correct,
so
window, right? My thing is this whole thing, but particularly in the first couple episodes, episode 1 we'll say, is you chose to write in a computer diary without a password when you're a psychologist, and you chose to fantasize and not bring up a singular issue with your husband. Had she in that moment said, listen, tired or not, we're fucking talking. This is what's going on. This isn't acceptable. I don't appreciate this in our lives. I don't care if we have sex like once a week. Once a week, we're committing to each other. I don't care if it's a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. I don't care if it's on a Tuesday. And then we happen to get lucky and do it again on a Saturday or whatever. But you and I have to talk because this is I'm unhappy, and I don't know if it's because I have postpartum depression. I don't know if it's because I'm jealous of your work and maybe I should go back to work. Like, the thing is that she absolutely under no circumstance communicates anything with him.
She doesn't communicate. Not only does she not communicate him, she punishes him for not reading her mind.
Yes, that's what throws me off.
She directly punished him at every turn.
If my husband is upsetting me, which is all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I love you.
Yeah, but right.
But you know, but when
they annoy us all the time.
There's things that happen where you're just like, dude, we're like, you know what? I'll be like, hey, I really wanted to talk to you about something. And he'll be like, what was it? And if I'll say it, and he'll be like, no, I didn't think about it that way. Or, oh, I didn't even realize that was happening. Like, it's things like that. But if I harbor that, because they don't give a backstory, so the only way we're going to be able to proceed forward with the dialogue of this conversation is understanding that they never gave a prequel. So there was no showing ever that she's ever tried to communicate with him about it, that she's ever sat him down, that she's ever had a real talk.
And you would assume that she would.
Went from 0 to fucking 60. You would assume that she would.
You would assume that if she had, she would have brought it up in those flashbacks. Like, it wasn't always this way, and I tried to get us out of it, but it's not working. She doesn't do any of that. She doesn't
do any of that. So since there's no prequel to show that she ever did that, the assumption is she never did.
Right.
Because some women could be like, well, you know, you don't know. She could have talked to him. They do not show it. It did not happen.
It did. That never
documentation, bitch. CYA. Cover your ass.
Well, in this case, uncover your pussy. Cover that pussy.
Okay?
Pussy. Because she's like, we need to keep the receipts. Like, keep the receipts, bitch.
He can't read my mind.
So he's annoying. I hate him.
And I just, you know, I'm going to fantasize. And the fact that she even jumped to her sex life and not fucking porn or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was such a drastic.
It was so weird.
I have mental illness move.
It 1000% was. Mm-hmm. And when she rolls over to try to get him in the mood, and he's not like taking the hint. He's taking the hint. He's like, bitch, you take a hint.
He already told her he had a migraine.
He already had told you.
I gotta mow the lawn, drink a beer, and watch a game. That was him.
Communicating. He was doing what an adult does, which was he communicated his needs and wishes. And you did not at any point say to him, I know you want to watch the game. I know that you're tired, but do you mind? What if you only watch the second half and the first half, you and I can just like cuddle? I just want to be next to you. I
just want to be with you.
I just want to be skin on skin with you for a minute. We don't even have to have sex. I just want to be close
that's nice, just
to
cuddling in the
you.
mornings or something is really nice.
Just sometimes laying with your partner quietly and just like laughing about your day, or that's a great time to catch up
too.
too.
Their leg hair itches you. And you're like, get the fuck off me.
And then you're like, go watch your fucking game. I've had enough. But that's it.
But you filled up my tank.
That's it. Just a little bit of the fill. But she never says. He says that she never squawks. She doesn't take the hint. She rolls over on top of him.
Yes.
And he's like, fine, right? He doesn't say that, but everything you're reading on his face is fine.
Dude, like you could physically feel the unwant.
He's looking around her at the game.
You know what I would have done? I would have paused the TV because you're telling me they live in a mansion and they don't have a fucking DVR.
No one's got a fucking pause button on this bitch.
Amazon fucking Fire Stick where you just pause it.
You couldn't
and
record.
Then he would have been like, what are you doing? And you'd be like, we're doing this.
We're going to fuck. And then when I get done fucking you, you thought you were comfortable now? Wait until I get done fucking you. Yes. And then you can watch the game.
Then watch the game.
It's not like he was at a stadium or he was at a bar. It wasn't like you didn't get the sense that he has a ton of friends who are going to ruin the outcome of the game, or that he's like always on Twitter like, can't.
He just wanted a chill night. And it's okay that she didn't, but there was no communication.
There was no communication. So then he takes her, and she's like, you're not even. And he's like, okay. He's like, okay, sorry, I'm back in it. And then after a long day mowing the lawn, knowing that the ever-changing, like women I don't think sometimes give men a lot of give back when it comes to them not being in the mood. I say this all the time.
It happens.
I would never want to be a man, and I'll tell you the only reason why. There's only one reason why. Because I think being a dude sounds super fucking fun. I can take my top off whenever I want. I don't need to wear a bra. I can be standing up or sitting down. When I fart, pick my nose, or blow out a bathroom, it's laughed. People laugh and chuckle. Yeah. Call me a fucking bro.
You're a bro.
And then move on with their lives, right? That they never speak of it again.
Ever.
A woman cannot do any of these things.
No.
It's also fine to date a woman. Bring her back to your fucking bunker with fucking the walls looking weird gray. Why do single men always have weird lighting?
Legitimately today.
Like it's a jail cell?
I asked an employee about our cleaning service, and I said, a provider. And I said, hey, over at the clinic, how is it going? Because I have to write an email to the cleaning service for having some issues. And he responded with, oh, it's pretty destroyed right now.
That's their description.
And he was laughing, and I sat there, and he comes in my office, and I was like, dude, I don't give a shit that you guys blew up that bathroom. Just is it getting cleaned every day? And he's like, yeah. Like, because he's a guy.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm laughing because it was just like, dude, of course you
This is the best world. They can eat, they can get fat with big bellies and still get a super slamming wife. Okay? The only reason listen, it's got to be great to scratch your balls in public and not care, and then smell it and not care. That's got to be an amazing thing. Put the hand in the pants in front of people. They don't readjust. They have a great time.
Could you imagine if I was in Costco and I put my hand down my high-waisted jeans and said, whoops, one of my lips fell out because my fucking underwear is from Victoria's Secret and I'm 32 and, like I said, not quite a dime piece but can still buff out to a dime? Could you imagine if I fucking shoved it in there and somebody looked at me and I said one of my lips fell out? I'm readjusting my lips. I'm just saying. It wouldn't go over well.
They would call security on you.
They would call security.
They would start filming you and call security immediately.
My mom was raised in the 80s. She'd look at me and be like, why are you wearing underwear?
Right. Why would you, let the lips run free as they will.
That's what I'm saying, is that under no circumstance
can
I shove my hand down there.
Yes.
Now, do I do like the occasional, I
titty?
do this a
Everyone
lot.
does a couple titty moves. Like, we do a little lift the girls up.
Because you can go in towards your armpit and pull up
and do it real smooth.
But if I did a full man...
Men would lose their minds across America. They would lose their minds, but not men. Men can do whatever they want. But you know
women would be like,
women would be like, I can't.
Certain women of a certain generation
fainting on the ground. You would cause a scene. One pussy lip could cause an entire scene.
Oh my god, that's what I'm saying. Is men have it
they have it so good.
Easy.
Here's the only part about being a man that's gotta suck. the crippling anxiety about having to take care of an entire household. Because no matter what the woman does, she could lose her job tomorrow. The buck fucking starts and stops with you, bitch.
Yeah.
If your wife is out working 2 jobs and you're unemployed, the world, our community, other men think you are a worthless piece of shit. They actually tell you to your face. They tell you right to your face, you lazy piece of shit. What kind of man are you that your wife
works
go
2
out and
jobs.
2 jobs? She's raising your fucking kids, you loser. You fucking loser. That kind of crippling fear I couldn't live with every day. Because I know that I got that at
women,
the end of the day.
we have our things, and let's not sit here and say that like we're anti-feminist. Women, we as women, there's a lot of that goes into us being women that's difficult that men will never understand.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
But the pressure society does put on males
to provide,
to be a breadwinner, let alone provide. Because women, we all want equal rights and equal pay.
Excuse me, not just breadwinner. No, bitch.
Yeah.
You are the spider killer. If an assailant comes in the house, bitch, you're up. If a fire starts, you're meant to know how to put it out. If the electrical isn't working in this bitch, you're an electrician.
Yes.
If the fucking Wi-Fi isn't working, guess what? Guess who works for AT&T now? You do, bitch.
You do, bitch.
If my car doesn't work, I go like this. Hand you the keys. It's your job to fucking figure. That's a lot of pressure.
It is.
Also, the bills. You got to stay on the bills, stay on the savings. You got to tell me when I go, I want to go to the Bahamas. You got to make it happen. I have said that to my husband. I have looked at him in the face and said these words, make it happen.
Yeah.
You're my husband. Make it happen. What? That kind of pressure? And you can't let this motherfucker watch a goddamn ball game without slamming your pussy in his face?
Yes.
Give this guy a break.
And then yelling at him because you didn't preheat the oven. She didn't preheat the oven.
Yeah.
We complain about men not preheating the oven here.
Yeah.
Honey, it's still...
Listen, if you want a dick that bad, you tickle those balls until the end of that game.
Yes.
You fucking... Trust me.
Men like
You tickle those balls enough. Yeah, he will turn that game off and fuck you real quick too. Real quick. Just real quick. So he can get right back to that game.
Yeah, because then the next morning she's getting fucking... It's like a rape scene.
Okay, so we're gonna circle that. Okay, so they're fucking. Now here's where I was confused. Because when I was reading the overview of everything...
Yeah.
And I rewatched it again. I rewatched it a second time, for a third time, because they said he came. I thought his dick got soft.
It did in the show. It did.
No. In the actual script, he comes. And that's the reason why she says, grab me the vibrator. Because she's like, he starts fingering her. Because he already came. And now she has not come. So here's where I don't understand why you're upset. Yeah, I understand that you didn't come. But
terrible.
He did fuck you.
Or you fucked him.
Whichever one happened, the chicken or the egg. Regardless, someone came.
Yeah.
It only takes one person to come for us to be fucking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So yeah, he finished early, but you also asked a distracted, tired man to fuck you. He did exactly what you asked him to do. You never said, please me. You just said, let's fuck. He fucked. He did the obligatory thing. So then I love when she's like, go get my vibrator. And he's like, oh. He gets up and he into the bathroom, who keeps their vibrator in the bathroom?
Nobody.
Or I thought it was I thought I remembered it being on his end of the nightstand. No.
We talked about that last time. Yeah, no,
it was just in the bathroom. Where did he go get it? Out of the goddamn closet?
Like maybe they hide it under the clothes or something like that because they're afraid the kids will go through the drawers.
Okay, well, here's my only problem with that. When she was fucking him and screaming, oh, yes, oh, yeah. And she was doing a lot of this with her hair. When the camera turns and pans to her, the door is wide open. Door is wide open. All the lights are on and the game's loud as fuck. You have a newborn baby and a 4-year-old sleeping. The door is wide open.
Yes, so why would you?
Lights are on, and you are screaming like you've never been fucked before.
Like you've never had sex.
She is screaming.
You've had sex, but now it's the time where it's enjoyable and it's not nerve-wracking.
Correct.
Yeah.
Every parent knows, I call bullshit, because every parent knows that you only make those noises, plural,
Yes, it is plural.
When these motherfuckers are not in the house, it's always during the daytime because they're never like a good sleepover or in the daytime. And usually if they have a sleepover though, you say you're gonna fuck, you go on a date, you get too fucked up, you eat way too much food, you go home, you're full, you turn on your favorite show, and you both end up just falling asleep in a food coma at 9 o'clock because you've never gone to bed that early. That's what really happens. And you wake up the next morning and you go, we didn't even fuck, and you're like, I know. Let's Saturday. Yes. Saturday.
Yeah, but you enjoyed each other's time, so it didn't do anything. So it didn't matter. The love the time was still enjoyable.
None of that shit fucking matters.
Dude,
so you're telling me you left the door open. No, when you put those kids to sleep, everyone knows there's a 2-hour window where you do not fuck. You just wait for that little motherfucker to come to the door. You shut the door, you turn the fucking lock, you turn up the TV, and you fuck quiet.
Yes, because you're an adult.
And then you hear a noise and you go, stop. What was that?
It was just...
No, it wasn't. Shut up. If he hears you, he's not going to go away. Shut up. Was that him? And you wait to hear the classic ching, ching, ching. Mom, Dad, what are you doing? And if you don't hear that, you keep fucking quietly. You know you got to wrap it up. And then you get done fucking. You throw a towel at her like she's an animal. She cleans up as best she can. He opens the door, wafts the door to get rid of the smell of cum and shame. You turn back down the TV, you get in bed, and you act like you did something wrong and shameful before your children catch you. That's how you fuck when you have kids in the house.
Look at my toes and go, did I get rid of my, like my feet? They look wild because I wore socks without my Vans, of course. Or...
Vans without your socks.
Thank you. I was like, that came out wrong. But that's what it is. And then you're like, that was great. Thanks. And you're like, cool. And you're like, let's watch how it's made. Like, that's...
Get back to our same show. I'm back on my phone. You're back to watching football. Done and done. Like, don't... So
but
then...
It's because she doesn't know how to communicate. So, it's 1,000% what it is.
After he enters the vibrator and the vibrator dies, she gives her a little fucking... And then she goes into the baby's room and is holding the baby. Okay?
Yes.
2.2 seconds later after that, after she walks in that room and sits down and starts fucking thinking about homeboy, who walks right in the door? Little Hudson. So Hudson wasn't fucking sleeping. Again, you're further traumatizing your son by forcing him to listen to you get mad at his dad for not fucking you. Make your dad go in the other room and get a vibrator. You listen to your dad get demeaned as he brought vibrator back. While you're telling him he's basically a piece of shit because he fingered you. You told him he wasn't doing it right because he was still watching the game. So he said, I'm sorry. You then said, grab me the vibrator. Grabs you the vibrator. Its batteries are dead. And when I tell you the look of disappointment on her face.
I guess what she didn't do
is
she didn't communicate.
That look on her face, I want every one of our listeners to know that is the face I make when Bill brings me home a crispy chicken sandwich, a spicy crispy chicken sandwich from Wendy's, but forgets the ranch. That is the exact same face that I make. Utter like, what is wrong with you? Who are you? Who did I marry? That's the way she looks at him. She saunters off, and then here comes little Hudson. You're selfish. You don't care about this kid. You don't care about this baby. You don't care about your husband. You only care about your direct needs and wants.
Because had that been happening, I would have been like, okay. So I'm going to probably quietly cry because this was just a fucking...
disaster.
This was a disaster, dude.
That you created.
Yes. And then there would have come an acknowledgement, but there would have been we're fucking talking.
We're talking. This doesn't work for me. And I don't want to get into it right now because I'm going to cry and I can't have a puffy face tomorrow.
Yeah, like, and I don't want to talk, like, this isn't working. And then if he reciprocates with, well, I don't know what you want me to say. I work all the time, this, that, and the other. And then be like, fucking bye.
Right.
Like, because obviously for her, it's only, the sex is the only thing that matters. It's not the unconditional love.
No.
So it's not like there's other elements to the marriage that matter to her.
No.
Because she... every time it comes down to it, she's always just like, the fucking kids. But it's like, you love your kids. She's a mother. She has an unconditional love for her children. But, like, you know, because you know how they show, like, could she have a life with Brad? And they show her with her kids.
Yes.
And them having kids together. But Cooper's obviously nowhere in that picture, which it's really weird. But it's as if she had those kids with Brad, not Cooper. And all of her stuff that involves Brad truly does not involve children. And that's the life she's looking for.
It's almost like she doesn't want any sort of commitment, but she does want a commitment. She feels tied down by her commitments of the children and her husband, but also doesn't want a husband, but also does want a husband, but also does. I do want kids, but I don't want kids.
Like I would have rather have had kids with Brad.
But even if she'd had kids with Brad, she'd still be in the same predicament. And that's what the irony of it all is that she's pretending as if she was married to Brad, wouldn't be going to work every day stressed out about kids that he had created, stressed out about providing for them, making her happy, also making her proud of him. It's almost as if she's so stupid she can't see the dichotomy between the two.
Yeah.
It's almost mind-blowing.
It is
so then
mind-blowing.
she's so annoyed with everybody and everything, and she calls Sasha. Sasha is out at 10 o'clock at night.
Shittiest friend.
At a bar. Which, by the way, she is a doctor, an educated woman.
Very educated.
And she is in the shittiest fucking bar I have ever seen. I mean, when they flash back and she starts to explain Sasha, they show her and Sasha going from club to club, right? None of these clubs had a line.
True.
They all were in an alleyway.
Yes.
They all look like a bum. I'm sorry, a person without a home just pissed on the wall.
Yes.
Moments before.
I like how you changed it. Moments
before.
Yes, in the pink jacket.
It's not like she was living this extravagant, because you can do all those same things, because I've done them, and not be a busted bitch.
Yeah.
Like, you could be hanging out at some really fucking nice, classy fucking places and still be fucking in the bathroom. Still go to a nice nightclub and not an alleyway. She never goes to a club. She goes to bars that are rancid.
Yes.
And she's really living what we all lived in our early 20s, which was just like a hobo's life.
Yeah, which college and poor.
College and poor.
Because her parents did not have a lot of money. They kind of indicated that when she left.
Did they not? Because when they were at dinner, they seemed actually very affluent. The way her mother was holding her wine, and she kind of comments on the wine.
She just had a horrible. That's right.
I think she just had a horrible childhood.
But you know what they did before they did that before you got to meet her parents and stuff, which took a little while.
Yes.
They always are like, when you left Georgia. And she's like, I'm never going back to Georgia. You would thought she grew up on a farm, was born on her fucking auntie's couch.
Yes.
And never got a vaccine in her life. Never fucking had hospital
country
care. Country bumpkin. And was, her fucking best friend was her fucking chickens. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what you would presume.
You thought that she grew up the most poor fucking sweet home Alabama
And the
life.
one thing she kept doing that really started to annoy me was she'd talk about New York. And she'd be like, this is my city. This is my town. I'm a New Yorker. And then 2 minutes later, she'd be like, this is not, like, I'm from the South, so I don't even know how anything works. Yeah. And then she'd be like, but this is my city. And they let me in any club. And then she'd be down the subway and she's like, I don't know, though, because I'm from Georgia. Yeah. And I was like, oh, bitch, pick a lane and stay in it.
Pick a lane.
Pick any lane and stay in it.
You forgot your accent.
So then you go downstairs, you start writing about all the men you fucked, which, by the way, was literally 4 sentences. You start getting into talking about Brad.
Yeah, woke up a fire in her, absolutely.
First thing she talks about Brad is, you think it would be that big old dick. Because I'm not going to lie to you.
That was a
if
shocker.
I was writing about Brad, I had dated Brad, I had fucked Brad, the first thing I'm writing about is that big old dick. Yes. Like, I would have been writing, like, I love my husband so much, but boy, oh boy, when he was not satisfying me tonight, all I could think about was Brad's giant dick and how much that giant anaconda style swinging from a fucking tree dick used to just slap my pussy would get scared when it would like, oh, he's back. Yeah. Like my vagina, my mouth, everything.
Backwards up walls.
Even my ears would close up. They were just like, not us, bitch. Yeah. You got the pussy in the mouth. You're not getting us.
Not today.
Not today, Satan. Like, that's the first fucking thing I would be talking about.
Because they tried to give you the idea or the belief that it's because they had something more than just sex.
But that's not what she refers to.
But it's not what she refers to. But that's the thing. Is like us. Maybe it's just because we're trash.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because we're fucking trash that we're like, dick,
negative.
Dick.
When you first have a girlfriend, think about all the girlfriends you've had in your lifetime. Okay, think about when you were like in high school.
Yeah.
college years,
Yes.
grown adult, married adult.
Yes.
Every girlfriend that you go to lunch with who's still single.
Yeah.
And you're like, or let's say a coworker, right? And they're young. And they're like, oh my God, I went on a date with so-and-so last night. The first question you ask is, did you fuck?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
The very first question you ask. And you don't even have to know a bitch very well.
No.
Every woman asks the same. Men, if you are listening, I want you to know we ask the same. So you better put some effort into that first time. The first thing we ask another woman is, we ask it in a lot of different ways. We'll be like, was the dick good? Mm-hmm. Did he dick you down?
Did you guys sleep together?
Did you guys fuck?
Did you guys fuck?
And then if you say yes, we did fuck. Second question, how was it?
How was it?
Was it like... And if your dick is small, it is the leading thing we lead with. We're like, it was all right. He has a small dick.
Yep.
But if you fuck a dude with a legendarily large dick, you don't even have to be asked, did you fuck? You're going to be like, bitch, I went on. You're going to text me that night. You're going to be like, bitch.
You're going to not.
You are never going to guess what happened to me.
You're not going to
wait.
You're going to be like, sorry, I got to make a call. And you're going to roll over and be like,
and if you do make them ask, you're looking excited like a kid at Christmas. You're like, come on. So how was your night? And they're like, good. What's wrong with you, weirdo? How was your night? Oh, glad you asked. Got fucked by a giant dick last night. The biggest dick I've ever seen in my life. I asked him if it was real. I asked him if I could pull it just to make sure. He let me pull it. It was the biggest dick. He knew what he was doing too. Yeah. He was doing all sorts of positions and I was upside. I don't know. A lot happened. I can barely walk this morning. Ask me more questions. Go. Yes. That's what you do. She doesn't ever do that. She just talks about them fucking.
And I think it's because, honestly, I think it's because they're trying to allude to a connection.
You think like they're like, oh, these two were like in love.
They just couldn't keep their hands off each other. So, and that because that's what it is. Her and her husband can't keep their hands on each other.
Right.
And her and Brad can't keep their hands off each other.
So you're seeing this
dynamic between the two.
I don't even think, though, that the husband couldn't necessarily keep his hands off of her as much as it was a marriage of 6 years.
But it's the perception.
Yes. I'm just saying it was just, there's what marriage looks like over time, and then there's newlyweds, and there's first being together. And she keeps talking about this feeling. It changes,
dude.
Yeah, she keeps talking about this feeling. You never get that feeling. You do get that feeling again when you first see your husband with your child. You get to see that feeling again when you don't feel good or you're sleeping in the morning and your husband out of nowhere walks over while you're sleeping and just kisses your forehead and tells you he loves you for no reason. You get that feeling. You get that feeling when you watch your husband really commit to something, whether it be work or an activity,
her feelings
and nail
are
it.
Just so deep that only a dick can touch him.
Only a dick can touch him. And that's why she needed Brad. She needed someone with a big old dick who could scoop it all out.
She was
scoop
like,
out those
I'm
feelings.
sorry, but they're
And she's a liar because I think that she purposefully
not to bounce
took off the fucking password
around.
off of her fucking computer.
Dude, who doesn't have a password on their personal computer?
She was upset because he fucking came early. So she wrote about fucking other dudes, wrote about how good and how satisfied she was by so passive aggressive. Left it unfucking, not only because it's not like they show her getting drunk at the table. Yeah, she does have a couple cocktails, but by no means she's making calls to Sasha. And by the way, if I hear my husband in any other part of this house on the phone, I'm for more than a minute, I am up like, who the fuck are you talking to at night?
Immediately.
Who's letting their spouse just wander around on the phone? Not once. She talks to Sasha twice on the phone. Is out there, like I said, with a book line deadline. Just kick. Also, awful typer. Yeah. Hate finger fucking kick. You left it unlocked because you were being passive aggressive because he fucking came early.
I agree. She did. Absolutely.
So then you wake up the next morning and you're like, oh, who, me? And he bends you over because he knows exactly what you fucking did. He knows exactly the bullshit you were pulling. So he bends you over like a fucking bitch.
And goes out of character for himself. Like
goes out of character.
He hurt himself doing
He
this.
was like, at one point he like kind of scared himself and he's like, I'm back in it, bitch.
Yeah.
He bent you over, lifted up your fucking dress and started, your moo-moo.
Sorry, it's ugly.
Which, by the way, wash it. Do you have multiple? Or is that the only one you're in?
It was a sale, dude.
You can't be in pajamas all day and then wear them for 4 days. Like, you got to wash them at some point. Switch up the pajama.
Maybe they're indicating she's depressed with postpartum.
Well, she's something because you were outside with the butterflies in that bitch.
Yeah.
You were inside. You were. I mean, you had multiple times to take a shower, bitch. You could have taken the shower with Cooper. You chose not to. There were no kids around anyways.
She had to take a shower after.
He fucks her so hard.
Yes.
And she is loving it.
Yes.
She's got a smile on her face. Mm-hmm. To the point where, like, when he says, "Whose are you?" Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, never have I ever gotten a bigger lady boner. Like, when Bill's like, "Whose fucking pussy is this?" I'm like, "It's yours."
You're like,
just yours.
It's who else is here? It's nobody
yours.
else's.
I mean, we both know that.
We don't know that.
Yeah, it's like, do you think I'm running around on the side on you? But like
it's
the way
the showing of being
dominant. Like, I'm your fucking husband.
Yes.
I will fuck you when I want to. Some real like dominant, like gets us revved up. Because women can say what they want. But every person who is interested in a man knows that feeling. I don't care who you are, man, woman. Doesn't matter, transgendered. If you love men and you like dick, when a man's like, whose
is this?
Fucking dick is this? Whose fucking pussy is this, bitch? And you're like, yours. All of it. And I don't know why you get polite about it. You're like, it's yours, sir. It's all yours, baby. Yeah. I'm never like, yours, motherfucker. No, I'm always just like,
you're not having a scary movie scene where you're gonna say, I'm gonna piss and shit on the walls.
Yeah,
like, you're not taking it to an extreme. Yeah, no. You're not matching his energy of like,
no.
Yeah,
like,
that's mine.
It's yours.
It's yours. And whose is that? And he's like, yours. It's yours. And you're like, and whose fucking light is this? And you're not.
You're like, yours?
Whose fucking remote is this?
Yeah.
And my house.
And every man knows too. When she's like, there's nothing more annoying to men when you're like, harder, and you make that noise like, not hard enough. Watch your man kick that shit in about 20 times harder. And you're like, okay. And what's the next thing they ask you? Fucking hard enough? Am I fucking you hard enough now? And you're like, I don't know. This is like some weird dominant, like, but I'm into it. Like, yes, it is. Yeah. I am into it, but like, but like, keep doing that. But like, I don't want to fuck it up. So just keep doing whatever you're doing. Yeah. She's then in her mind, I could see where it started, where she was like, this is also going to be a problem. I was like, this bitch is never happy.
Never happy.
You can't make this bitch happy. You left him out in SOS. He saw the SOS. He did some squats. He did some push-ups. He drank 2 cups of coffee, took a shit, waited downstairs ready for you.
Took a shit.
Ready. Because you can't fuck that hard with a full bladder and with coffee. You got to take a shit right after coffee. Yeah. So he was ready.
Adrenaline pumping, like nervous shit. Nervous shit's what you're saying. I get it.
He threw back his tie and then leant hard, just fucking hard. Where I was like, give it to her. Yeah. You fucking fuck. Who's Brad? Fuck Brad. And then got done and did everything but throw a fucking towel on her and go tell her to clean herself up.
Yes. That's what she wanted.
But then she acted like she got raped.
Basically.
And that's what made the energy weird in the room. Because the energy was fine. Like, I was all like, yeah, get it. Then she made him feel like
he did something wrong.
She was like... like he raped her, and that's what made him then start second guessing what he had just done.
Yeah, because it was out of character for him.
He was like, I'm sorry. Don't fuck me hard and then apologize. That is like the biggest lady killer, boner killer ever. It's almost like
he started crying because he was so proud of his performance. And you're like, what?
He was like, I fucking killed that. I fucking killed that shit. She wants dominance. I gave that bitch dominance.
Gave it to her.
But they don't ever show Brad ever being really dominant. They don't ever really show him being dominant. Did they fuck like a lot? Yeah. Was he like in her and she was in him? Yeah, but he wasn't like it wasn't like 50 Shades of Grey where he was give me your hands.
I used the term earlier, possessive, and I guess I shouldn't have said that. But it was very, it was controlling for both of them. Yes. The way they felt with each other when they did those things. But it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like what...
It wasn't out of anger.
But you gotta angry fuck somebody. Like I said, sometimes...
it's like makeup sex.
It's like makeup sex. Yeah. Where you're still mad, but then like, everyone has cried a little during sex when you're like, I just love this motherfucker. He makes me so mad though. Like, but like, bravo. You know what I mean? Like, to the chef, I didn't like that. Right after that happened, she then started spinning out of control. It was immediately. She gets upstairs and it's like, I cannot wait to tell Sasha my husband just raped me. She runs upstairs. She changes into a wild outfit, grabs the baby, calls the nanny. Why also did you not leave the nanny with both friends? Or with both kids? Both kids with the nanny. She's hysterical. No, I'm sorry, she did. She did. You're right.
She takes
you're right.
the train to Sasha's. And
that's right.
This is episode 1. This is where it all
She runs into the lady who lives in her area and is super fucking weird.
I'm sorry, I'm just not having a good day.
The lady's like, okay, do you want to talk?
Well, she lied. She said, like, my aunt is sick or something like that. Which is fine.
Why did you lie?
I don't want to sit here and be like, hey, so I think my husband just raped me.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just say, I'm just having a bad day?
I'm having a bad day.
Any other mother or woman who's married knows what that means.
She communicated more with a stranger than she did her husband. Right.
Yeah. It didn't make a lot of sense why she felt like she had to put on airs about this woman just genuinely being concerned because you look frazzled.
She looked frazzled, like she lost a kid.
Yes.
And that's like, where's Hudson?
That's why the lady comes over and she's like, is everything okay, Abby? Or whatever the fuck are you? Everything okay?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm fine, which is not very convincing at all. And you're making more of something than needed to even happen to begin with.
Yeah.
None of that even...
Maybe it's just also with us though. Like we're really good. Like I can have an ugly cry. I fucking love a good ugly cry.
Oh,
I had one a while ago, but it was in regards to just like, sad shit with my cousin and whatnot.
Yeah.
But sometimes just having that release cry is really nice. And it's just one of those days and I just really just gotta let it out and then I feel better.
You always feel better.
But like, honey, I lock it up.
It's like letting the pressure cooker out. But when I start to run into someone in public,
it's locked up.
I went from someone just died to I've never cried a day in my life.
Yes.
I don't cry. Who told you I cry?
Because I don't
lock
cry.
it up. You're in front of people on a train. And by the way, you're acting very frazzled. And she was standing on the yellow part where they tell you not to the entire time. Everyone else was standing behind. Yeah, she almost had like
whatever they call it. Yeah.
She almost had very concerning behavior if I was a stranger. Mm-hmm. Now, we know the backstory, so it's like she can't wait for the train to get there. Mm-hmm. But it looks very concerning. Then she gets on the train, runs out of that train to Sasha's. She does everything but the cartoon.
Yes.
Gets to Sasha's, opens the door, doesn't call Sasha, doesn't respect Sasha's time. Doesn't call or text her and say, are you busy? Are you in the middle of something? I need someone to talk to.
I've had it happen where a friend came over late at night once when there was something going on. But I got the, hey, I need a friend. I know you're on a date with your husband. I need to come over.
She called Sasha multiple times and Sasha didn't answer.
And didn't answer. So if I didn't answer, they would not show up at my door.
Who just shows up to someone's door?
For like that.
She showed up to that door. The guy, she starts buzzing people to get her in the building. They let her right on in. Like
a psychopath.
Like an insane person. The guy even looks back like, what's up? Sure, ma'am, whatever. If you murder someone, it's not on me.
Yeah. Like, she looked like she lived here.
Yeah, he's like, you know what I don't want to get into today? This.
Yeah.
I'm good. Thank you. She gets it. Sasha opens the door in a manner of which if you had opened the door, as long as I've known you, I would have immediately known this wasn't a good time.
Yeah.
Immediately, I would have been like,
she talked to her twice the night before.
Correct.
Opens the door, sees this person who was wildly frantic on the phone and doesn't immediately go, fuck, what happened? Shut the door and open it. She's like, you're going to have that mental breakdown somewhere.
She's like, oh, is that right? Oh, okay, cool. So can I call you later? And she's almost annoyed with Sasha. She's like, I need to talk, bitch. And like, does everything, just about pushes the door open.
Yes.
And says, I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Comes in and just immediately doesn't go, I don't know, maybe we're just weirdos, but I immediately would have been like, girl, I am so sorry to bother you. I know I'm low-key stalking. I am just having a date. Can we have a glass of wine and sit and talk?
Like, let me get this out. Tell me if I'm being rational. I ask my girlfriends all the time. I'll be like, now listen.
Am I crazy?
I know I'm sounding very biased. Can you just let me know? Am I making sense? Like, am I rational or irrational?
You and I do this all the time with one another because
I know. Do I sound fucking crazy?
I know you will always tell me the truth.
Yeah.
And I know that you want nothing but the best for me, so you won't lie to me.
Correct. Yeah, I'd be like, is it me?
I would never, if any of those social cues I had picked up from you, I would never step over your boundary. I love you and appreciate you enough that I would never be like, bitch, read a room. She's got a life too. Just because she's single doesn't mean she doesn't have a life. Yeah. So you're assuming this bitch is just sitting at home waiting for shit to happen every day?
Yeah, like she just sits at home and she's like, I know Billie's gonna be here.
Something's gonna happen.
In the next 10 hours, Billie's gonna be here.
I think she's gonna, is that her calling? I'm gonna play bitch, what?
What?
So then she immediately starts just blathering on about her entire life as if Sasha, her best friend, who she talks to rain, shine, morning, evening, middle of the night. This bitch should already know the story.
Yeah.
She should know all the stories. Why are you catching her up on your life?
Yeah.
You talk to her all the time, presumably. That's what we're to presume, that they speak all the time.
Yes.
And yet she does an entire dissertation about her life. Sasha is literally being so quiet for the first time. So quiet. You didn't pick up on that and be like, is someone here? Do you have company? Never asked her. Because again, it's all about Billie.
Yes.
She doesn't ask anybody anything.
Yep.
It's just what I need, what I want. Me.
Like right now.
Not later.
Now.
Right now.
Right now.
He walks out of that back door. Which, by the way, kudos to you, sir. Because I'm telling you, that is every ex's dream. If I am fucking someone new and I hear you are having a meltdown in the next room, I'm going to get dressed so fucking slow because you're going to have to replay the embarrassment. And I want there to be smooth 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Where I stayed in the back to hear your meltdown.
Yes.
While I fixed my hair.
Yeah.
And got this face
like,
straight.
Oh, dude, that person's hella strung up.
You're like, no, let's go ruin this party. Let's kick it up a notch.
7 years.
Weird. This bitch is not changed at all. He walks out and just leans up against the wall super cocky and is just like, hello, Billie. Hey, Billie. Hi, Billie. Good day, Billie.
And
she's like,
the betrayal.
How long has this been going on for? How long? First of all, I'm not having this conversation in front of him.
No.
We used to fuck. I'll deal with you another time. We're done. You died today. You are a dead friend to me. You died this minute. The minute I saw that dude.
Especially once you learned the backstory of what happened with Brad when they got into the thick of it towards the end of the series, then you're like,
this bitch is dead to me.
Wow, dude.
This bitch is dead to me.
Regardless of how Billie was acting, which is very, very self-centered, the second he walked out,
died. My friend died.
Because all you knew was like sex, but like when you get into the thick of it right now, you know, it had you been her, no matter how self-centered you were behaving, been like, yeah, we're done.
Especially because right before she goes to the house, if you remember, when she's doing her whole like remembering Brad when she's typing, there's a scene where Brad is late. And they're like, she's such a weirdo though. And Billie is a weird person. Because when she was at the dinner, I've had times where like, we've all had times where we're arguing about our spouse. You and your spouse are arguing, but you have to go somewhere public. And maybe you're so mad at each other that you're like, I'll go, you stay. It's better than us both going and there's clearly something going on and people are going to be, they will pick up on it.
Energy is there.
But when the other person, you, the spouse, whatever, significant other, when you go to said party or event, this is your time to lock it up. Bitch,
yes.
This is the time to talk about your fucking dead grandma. Okay? When they're like, where is your husband? That is when you just lock it up and go, oh, he totally ran late with dinner or with work. You know, he's been working so hard. He got a promotion. He's been killing it at work. He'll be here though. They ask her where he is. And she's like, he'll be here. He's always here. He promised me. He knew how important tonight was. He'll be here. He'll be here. Like, he just always lets her down. Like, he's just a piece of shit again who just lets her down.
Yeah.
Then, by the way, he shows up.
Yes.
But at that dinner, you see the comfortability with Sasha and Brad. That was key because she knows him. She's been around him. She knows the backstory. She even tries to convince Billie to leave him.
Yes.
That's how much she knows about Brad.
Yes.
She knows their strife, the good times, the bad times. They've hung out. They had inside jokes when he got to the table. And you went from that to, I'm going to back my best friend up to, I don't know what the big deal is that I'm fucking him now.
I know. Worst friend. No moral compass. Nothing about it. screams she should have any friends.
And then she got to the train station.
Yeah.
And fell asleep.
Yeah.
She sat down from exhaustion.
I think that's what it was. Mental exhaustion as well.
Because she's insane.
Yeah, I literally
She's
lost her
literally
mind.
lost her mind. And then some random ass old white lady, which by the way would never happen in Grand Central. It just would not happen in New York City. I'm telling you now.
I believe you. You married a man from New York.
If you've ever been in New York one time, you think a stranger is going to come up to you
and be like, honey,
an old white lady is going to go up to what looks like a presumably homeless Caucasian woman who looks frazzled.
Yes.
Sweating from running, fell asleep on a bench.
Yeah.
How she didn't get pickpocketed or her wallet taken. And tells her, you're leaking. You're leaking. Then she goes into the bathroom and starts to push the milk out into, as if this is what all moms do when they forget their breast pump at home. Because all moms are hysterical on trains.
Correct.
What?
Nope.
What?
I didn't get the opportunity to breastfeed, so my opinion's mute. But it's at the same time, like, it's very, like, just like tit out. Like,
I'm not saying they weren't engorged, but you weren't out of the house that long. You act like you were gone for 12 hours.
Yeah, she was gone just for a couple.
She's just gone for a couple hours. Most moms can be gone for a few hours.
And
yes, when you have to feel...
The nanny's always watching the kids. I feel like you never breastfeed.
And how did you have to pump when they weren't big at all? They never got big.
No.
They were never like... So when you see a swollen breast full of milk...
Nipples were huge.
Those nipples were... They look like grapes on a vine.
Yeah. Yeah, like...
Like, you know when they wilt and they're like raisins?
Yeah, they're like... They haven't shriveled up quite yet. They were big.
And the lady who was staring at her was not staring at her for the reasons that she believes she was staring at her.
No.
It's like she was like, what the fuck is going on in your life, man?
You look wild.
You are a mess.
You are a mess.
And now you got your tit out and you're making everyone uncomfortable.
And you're like, what? And everyone's looking at you like, dude, where's the baby? Like, people are looking at you like... It's not because you're releasing in public. Women have to do what they have to do. It's literally because of how you look, and then they see that you have milk in your tits, and they are like,
"Where's the baby?
Where's the fucking baby? Where'd you put the baby? Just tell us where the fucking baby is." That's the behavior that's the vibe you're giving off.
I drowned my baby.
I drowned my baby.
I left my baby on the subway. That's the vibe.
She's fucking 10 stops ahead, and now the tits hurt. Sorry.
That is the energy you're giving off. It's making everyone
uncomfortable. I'm sorry, it's a total vibe of you did something bad.
You made the old lady uncomfortable to the point where she was like, "Is this bitch alive?"
Yes.
Did she just lose her baby so much so? I guarantee that old lady saw another lady and the lady was like, "Did you talk to her?" She goes, "Yeah, I woke her up and yeah, it was breast milk." She said it was breast milk. It wasn't coffee. And she's like, "Well, where's the baby?" And she said, "I don't know. I didn't ask that part." And the lady goes, "I'm going to go in the bathroom and see what's going on."
And then she goes in and she sees you fucking wild and out with your titties and then is like, "Dude, where's the baby?
Where's the
baby?
Just tell us where the baby is. We just want to help you and the baby."
Fucking Amber Alerts would have been going. I would have called cops. I'd have been like,
I would have gotten the nearest officer and or public agent and been like, "You need to assist this lady. I don't know what's going on." Sasha comes finding her like a beacon. And don't tell me it's because you're best friends, bitch. Yeah, right. I would have totally thought that if you weren't in the train station, but you previously lived in New York, I would have gone to the next place you would have gone to, a coffee house. I would have gone to, do you know what I'm saying? If I didn't see you immediately in the train station, but the train wasn't there, which makes no sense because you hear trains vibing by. So like, why Sasha went into the bathroom? It's like, "Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are." She's like, "Uh-huh." And then she starts to explain to her very loosely how they fucking fucked. She's like, "You know how it is." She says,
"You know my lifestyle."
She says, and I quote, "Brad and I are in the same groups." How? You are a psychologist.
Like a scholar.
You're a scholar. You're a professor.
He's a music
producer. She said, "You know, we hang out with the same groups."
Because she never grew out of that lifestyle.
But what lifestyle? You never meet mutual friends. So it's not like in the show, like, you know, at the dinner, it wasn't like they were like, a group of like a sixer where you're like, you got the couples you go hang or the people you rage with, and they're the people, if you're gonna do blow, you're doing it with Franny and George.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fucking go do ecstasy and go to Burning Man, you're gonna do it with Freddie and George and Micah. You have a group of people. Everyone has a group of people that they get wild with.
Yeah.
They never give you that feeling, but yet how did they then hang out in the same crowds? She goes, we hung out in the same crowds. So I happened to be in wherever it was, Barcelona, for work. You're a child psychologist. What the fuck were you doing in Barcelona? So she says she just happened to be there, and he happened to be there, and he texted her, or she texted him, I can't remember which one, and they met up for dinner, and then she goes, and then it's like that episode of Seinfeld where he's like, and then yada yada yada, we fucked.
Yeah, and it's like, so
what?
It's like, well, it wasn't even like, and as a friend, had that happen, been like, I would have immediately said, if you want to talk about Billie right now, I'm not doing that for you. Because that's what a good friend would have done. But like, don't ever fucking call me. Don't ever fucking text me.
But he didn't call her about Billie. She said.
I know, I'm saying, but that's if he had reached out, I would have immediately, like, if he was like, hey, Sasha, what's up? I'd have been like,
go fuck yourself.
Hope you die. But she was like,
hope you die.
Hey, what's up with you? Because she always had a liking towards him because she was jealous.
And they make it seem like she's just an average stupid bitch. Like Sasha,
she just doesn't care.
Is just as stupid as she is. Yeah. Like they're both just as dumb. Yeah. That's the way they make you. They would have you believe it.
Yes.
But Sasha's also, they make her seem like she's dumb and a whore, but also a scholar, and she's super smart, and she's a black bad bitch who does what she wants.
Her
and I'm
body,
like,
her way. But I'm like, yeah, but you slept with
you fucked over your friend.
Hardcore.
And your friend is having a mental breakdown. Yeah. And you knew she was having a mental breakdown, and you
the night before. When
not
she
even
called
12 hours. So she says to
and
her.
You still brought him, you still had him over. And you still said, she called you about Brad, freaking out about Brad twice. And you still said, come on over, dude.
Come on over. Because it's not like it would have been one thing if after that scene where she's in the bathroom, she says that they hang up and you see what looks like the back of Brad waiting for her.
Yes.
Or Brad in the background. Yeah. Then you could be like, well, this bitch. But no. Nope. They want us to suspend reality for a minute and believe that she innocently was just fucking Brad. No, dude. And don't act like, because in one breath they act like they've been talking every day. And then the next breath, her and Sasha act like they haven't talked in 26 years.
Yeah.
And Sasha almost gets annoyed with her and goes, you chose this life. I don't understand what the problem is. What is your big deal? What is your problem? She's like, I just want to fuck Brad. That's my problem. And she was like, that's a shame. Anyways, got to get back to this rave, a.k.a. fucking yo old man.
Yes.
She then goes home after all of this. After all of this, the non-fucking the night before, the meltdown on the fucking bed, vibrator going out, fucking Hudson making you feel bad, going downstairs and fucking writing a weird fucking Dear John letter to your fucking husband. Next morning, him raping you. Just kidding. Fucking satisfying you like you've never been satisfied before. You got super weird about it. Ran off to your girlfriend's house like an insane person. To the point where you made people on the train, including people in your neighborhood, feel like you were having a mental breakdown, which you were.
Yes, which you were.
You then barged into your fucking best friend's house, who you had already called 100 times, who she'd already not called you back. You didn't ask about her, how she was. None of those things. You saw your ex. Melted down further to the point where you got back to the train station and you're like, this bitch again? Caused a scene in the train station. Get home to your lovely fucking husband.
Who was ready to talk, I believe.
Who called your neighbor and said, can you watch the kids? Because your concerned neighbor went to your husband and said, something's up. I saw her at the train station and she did not look well. So he went and bought you a dress. He bought you a dress. He got a babysitter. He made dinner. He sent the fucking housekeeper home. Showered, shaved, changed. Didn't even blow up your phone. Waited for you to come home.
Because he knew you had a minute. You needed a minute.
Didn't question you. All to give you a beautiful night out on the fucking town.
And be like, listen, I hear you. I haven't been paying attention, but I'm paying attention now.
You said it with your disappointing eyes and heavy sighs. I got you, bitch.
And the fact that someone saw you being wild and you didn't call me and we didn't talk after what happened, because they both left it awkward, let's be clear.
Very awkward.
They both left it awkward. So he wasn't going to initiate a call and she didn't either. But the neighbor said, hey, I'll just initiate this issue, right? Not knowing the backstory and saying, hey, something's up with Billie. And him being like, him knowing, being like, okay, well,
I think it might have something to do with
this morning. I need to make this right.
A little bit.
And then he's like, I'm going to give her space. She needs it. I get it. And then does all these things to be like, I need to make this right, and here's how I'm going to make it right, because you're obviously vying for some form of affection that I'm not giving you. And the way I did it is out of character for me, and you and I both know that.
You know who I am.
And you know who I am, so I'm going to try.
I'm going to try.
And she
goes, okay. She goes upstairs, shaves her legs, gets dressed.
Pumps,
the whole nine. She then insinuates that, like, they never have date night, which I was believing for a minute until she walked down. I don't know if you remember this part, but she walks down the stairs, and the homegirl who later sucks dick.
Yeah, we'll have a nice episode about that.
Walks down the stairs, and she says, the girl's like, ooh. And she goes, well, this isn't your usual Friday date night, which insinuates that he takes her on dates every Tuesday.
That's true.
So you said this dude never paid any attention to you, is what you indirectly said. You never said it. You never said it. She didn't, but she indirectly did by acting as if he never pays attention to her.
Yes.
Oh, the baby's first, the kids are first. This bitch just said, this isn't your usual Tuesday night look. So Billie, again, I ask you, which one is it? Is this dude a piece of shit? Or are you a piece of shit? Because you really want me to go out on the slim with you, and I want to. I want to help you. But Cooper doesn't feel like the problem.
Once you get through the whole series, you know Cooper was never the problem.
Oh, Cooper was never the problem.
Ever.
So then he takes her to this really cool dinner, fun, hip, to the city. And she is acting like a twat the entire time. He's like, let's go dance. Let's go drink. And she's like, you know what? I see what you're doing. You know what? It's just nice that you tried. He's like, I got you tickets to your favorite band that I remembered. Love, that I remembered on my own.
Yeah. Because you don't have any friends for me to call.
So it's not...
Sorry.
It's not like he took her to a band that he likes, right?
He was selfish about it.
He said, I'm going to take you to... I'm going to buy an outfit that I know you're going to be banging in love. I'm going to get you tickets to the band that you love.
Take you to a great spot that I know you'll like because you like dive bars.
And she pulls him off the floor and is like, I see what you tried to do. You didn't really nail it because you didn't recreate what I was looking for, but good try.
Because she didn't communicate it to him and it wasn't good enough, but she takes no blame because she's selfish.
Like if Bill would have done one of those things.
One of them.
Called somebody to watch that fucking kid and given me a dress. Or
dude, all Mark has
let
to
me
say
go to a
is,
bar and then watch that. Like,
do you want to go out to dinner tomorrow? And I'd be like,
what? I'm like a dog. I'm like, what? You're gonna throw the ball?
Just like,
you're
do you
gonna
want me to
throw the
get
ball?
my mom to watch the kid? And he'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, oh, so that means we're gonna be in bed by like 7. Like, I get so excited.
You get really excited. You're telling me that bubbly feeling didn't happen when you walked to the door and you'd seen that you were a piece of shit and this dude's still awesome. He's still nailing life for you. You're telling me you didn't get that feeling?
To go out like a fucking dad and dance like one too.
And he was having a good time.
Yes.
And I'm like, what else did you want to do?
Yeah.
So then he goes, you can see the spark in his eye. And he's like, still wasn't enough. I can never please this fucking bitch. She's just never fucking happy. See, here's the problem I have. He breaks into a client's
house.
Who he says...
Mind you, we're in episode 2 on this.
Yeah, now we're episode 1 is done.
It's done. Okay.
Episode 1 is done. Yes. No, actually, it's not because
yes, it is. This doesn't happen in episode 1. This happens.
Oh, it doesn't. It happens. You are correct.
I know because what happens is Brad walks in. Hey, Billie, and everyone's like, oh, and
yes,
then,
yes, you're right.
Episode 2 is where's the fucking baby?
Where's the baby?
I mean, it was.
We see a pacifier, but we don't see a baby.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Where's the baby?
Yeah. So you're right. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So we're in episode 2.
Yeah.
He breaks into a client's house, which, by the way, horrible security on this mansion. You skipped in.
Like one time, Mark and I were painting the house, and we were just by ourselves. And what did I do when he was out in the garage? I fucking knew we had to take a shower and all those things. But what did I do? I rolled him with fucking paint.
Right. Playful.
All over his shirt, playful, all over his fucking arms. He did the same to me. And it's that kid playfulness that you can still have with your spouse as an adult. I'm not shoving you and saying, you smell like poop. You know what I mean? Like kids. It's not, just like it's not, playful. It's not immature. It was adult playfulness, and it's things like that. And so that's fun to see, I think, and like that style, because they were like, because you were like
having a good time. She finally allowed herself to just have a good time
and have a good time.
Because if she would have just broke down those walls, she could have had a good time with him all along.
3 hours before, people thought she murdered her child.
Right.
So she flipped the dime real quick.
That's what I'm saying. This bitch is nuts.
A good fucking
she had a great time.
She had a great fucking time.
And I always kept thinking, like, when she was looking at him, like, sometimes, I know you probably have done it with your husband too, but like, there have been times when I like pinch Bill's butt, or he'll pinch my butt.
Yes.
And I will laugh. I'll be like a little school kid.
Yeah.
I don't understand why none of those things ever happened.
Yes.
And it took your husband having to literally do a Byeeeee.
Yes.
He broke and entered into someone else's house to get for you to get your fucking rocks off. So then you're running back to the car. We witnessed the fastest police response in the world's history.
Yes. It's like the guy had been watching him and then was afraid that when he saw him at the next business meeting, because he's an investor,
correct,
that he was going to slip and be like, I saw your wife's tits. And then he's going to be like, fuck. He's like, oh my God, I'm calling the cops. And then I got to make a scene.
Correct. It was the oddest
I'm sorry. Let's be real. We all live in Reno, and, you know, I am pro things, if you will, but I'll tell you right now,
I'm pro things.
They don't fucking show up.
They never. Sometimes they forget.
Yeah.
I've had police officers say, I once had a dispatcher go, oh yeah. She said that on the phone. Oh yeah. Like, oh yeah, I meant to send them out.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So I've seen it plenty of times.
What are you gonna do? They don't show up sometimes at all. You're like, did you call the police?
Yeah, I've had that happen. I've had that happen where somebody tripped an alarm at work by accident, and then our security system's like, we dispatch the police, and they never show up.
Or they do, and it's okay. So once at our old place of work,
there's only one time that they actually did, but I remember this other time, the owner and I are like, where are the cops? And we're both calling. And they're like, yeah, Bill, you know, it's just not high on the priority list. We were like, oh, okay. So we just met down there and we're like, hopefully we don't die.
In front of our place that we used to work together.
Yeah.
I was leaving one night. And when I was leaving, it was dark.
Yeah.
It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And as I came around the corner, I could see high beams.
Yes.
So instantly I stopped and did not walk out into that side area.
They didn't see you.
Because I wasn't sure. There's no reason why anyone should be in this area at that time.
I know where you're at.
And at the time, we had a pharmacy. And I thought, let me go ahead and call the police because I'm too worried that they're going to try to break in. And if I'm in here when they do that, they'll more than likely hurt me.
Yes.
Right? So I'm on the phone with the police. And then I circle around in one of the exam rooms to look through. And I notice there's no one actually in the car. So at first that made me nervous. I was like,
oh, so they're already in here and this is a getaway car.
Correct.
Like they're leaving it lit up.
Or something's up. Right.
Get their shit.
And the car is running.
Yeah.
The car's running. I call Bill and he's like, I'm on my way. So he drives down. At that point, we only lived maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. Yeah. He drives down and I hear him knock on the window. He's like, you can come outside. And like, come out. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, oh, someone for sure just, this is a drop off. This car's almost out of gas. They stole this car. Yeah. It's just a stolen car. And they're going to leave it with the lights on, hoping someone will call 911. And then the person gets their car back. Or they'll just wait for it to run out of gas. And at that point, they're long gone. And it's probably almost out of gas. They'll leave the keys in running. They don't care. It's not their fucking car. Or somebody committed a crime with it, like robbing a convenience store. And they are leaving it here because they don't want to be caught in the car that was the getaway car. And I was like, how do you, like,
what is going on here?
How are you the homicide hunter? And I don't even know, like, what's going on. Yeah. And he was right. Eventually, I said, let's wait for the police. Yeah. I waited. No fucking police ever came. The next morning, I show up to work. The car is still there. The lights are still on. It's run out of gas, but the lights are still on the car. Fucking, they're flickering. They're just like, the car's almost dead. Yeah. I call the police, and they're like, the lady goes, oh, yeah. Well, I mean, no one was actively breaking in, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that there's no response.
There's just no response. These people run to the car, they pull out, and the police are already clocked them.
Yep.
They clocked them. They're on to them. The jig is up. He is running high-speed chasing away from this police officer, who, by the way, is the shittiest police officer ever. You're driving in a Jaguar. They're driving a souped-up police car.
Yeah. Souped
with
up.
a zillion horsepowers.
Yeah, because they want you guys to catch the bad guys.
And have
you're
fun.
In a very wealthy neighborhood. So you're going to tell me that those cops aren't going to try?
Where's the bird at?
Like.
Where's the bird?
Yeah.
Where's the bird at?
Yeah.
BZ? Where's the backup?
Yeah.
No one got a license plate, a description?
No.
You hear police in that neighborhood, lights are on, people are outside. There are at least 12 Karens that live on that block. You're telling me none of them were outside walking their poodle?
Right?
Spying on an old neighbor.
Spying on the neighbors, being the fucking neighborhood watch. Yeah.
And you live in an affluent neighborhood as well.
Yes.
So you're going to tell me that didn't make the news. So, two, someone didn't recognize that vehicle or you all?
Yeah. I agree.
What were you thinking? You were doing all this to please this unhappy, mean bitch?
Yeah, because when you got home and couldn't finish the deed.
Then they get home and homegirl's like, oh my God, you guys are all wet. You guys look like you had one hell of a Tuesday. And she's like, oh my God, we did.
Well,
and she's like, you'll have to catch me up later.
Comes out later because it gave off an odd vibe in the second episode.
You know why?
And now I know why.
That and prolonged eye contact.
Yeah.
You know when you're about to break in, you're like, why are you still looking? We're both supposed to not look at the same time. And she's just to have someone blanketly just. So it was a good Tuesday.
Bill, have a great time. Oh my God, I can't. My contacts are gonna pop out.
Mine literally were so dry. I was like, oh my God.
Am I gonna drive home?
I was so confused. She gets home. Who's the first bitch she calls?
Sasha.
She calls Sasha and is like, remember the rape? Remember the rape? He's totally fixed it. He bought me a dress. If anything screams women are simple. If anything screams women are simple.
When men think we're complicated.
She said the whole rape, he made up for it. He got me a dress. I teased my hair. He took me out. Sasha,
just by the way,
I can't get into it.
Ugly. Anyway, so keep going.
She's like, I can't get into it because he comes in the house and goes, when we get home, I'm gonna finish fucking you.
Yes, he is hyped up. He is hyped.
He just ran from the law, and made it.
He's like doing all this shit that's out of character for him, but fun for him.
But fun,
not out of character and aggressive.
No,
this is out of character and fun. And he's like,
fun.
You know what, dude?
Yeah.
Fuck, we actually got to have some fun. Because I did not know this was going to happen. And I was just trying to show you how much I do find you attractive.
And now I'm high-speed chasing away from the police.
Beautiful. And I want to have sex with you. And I want to do these things. I want to make love or I want to fuck. And it still be like, but I still love you.
Yes.
And it's not a one-night stand.
You're 100% correct.
He was so much, so much fun amped.
And what did you do? You put that fucking moo-moo back on. You grabbed that baby.
Fucking Nicki Minaj.
And you got on the phone again.
Shitted on him.
Yep.
You came home and said, well, time to breastfeed.
And then let me go talk to my girlfriend on the phone and brag about the night that we had. And then, by the way, while he's brushing his teeth getting ready, he fucking literally, you gave him too much time to sit and wallow about what had happened that day. Had you not been so concerned with catching up with your girlfriend,
the first thing
he wouldn't have been sitting there staring at your computer.
What she did is she called Sasha to say,
correct. Just kidding about the rape.
So you can fucking have Brad.
Because I'm good.
Because I am fucking good.
I just fucked. I just had a high-speed chase.
Best night of my life with my husband.
And guess what? I didn't even wear a pink jacket. I lived my best life.
And I want you to know that. And then
Sasha was like,
and then allowed her husband to come from a high to a low.
He sees your computer. He saw the computer.
That's because of course, why would you not hide that? Why would you not hide that?
You just had a great night. You just had a beautiful night.
That's no different than being like, I had a great night and then coming home and you shit on your husband by saying, so you don't fucking do anything around here. It's equivalent to literally shitting on somebody.
Yes.
Like that nothing is good enough. It's like a 5-year-old or it's like my son. If he came up to me and said, Mom, calls me Mama. He said, Mama, look at this picture. And I was like, after I told him, dude, you are so great. You're so smart. You're so brilliant. You're the best artist. I think you're so wonderful. And then he comes up and is like, Mama, I painted this picture. And I say, dude, that's the biggest fucking piece of shit I've ever seen.
Try again, you loser.
You're a fucking loser.
Ugh, this is the best you got?
And granted, he's not a child, so that his brain as an adult can process it differently. He is a human being with a conscience and feelings and is like, what the fuck?
I did all of this for you, and you still got to call your girlfriends. You still got to be on that phone. You still got to put everything before, even though I'm trying so hard.
I get the breastfeeding thing.
That's one thing.
But the phone thing.
She actually could have made the breastfeeding fun. She could have gone in there and been laughing and been like, get ready for the show, baby.
Yeah, having the baby, holding the baby.
That's right. Get ready for the show.
She doesn't know what's going on.
As soon as this baby goes down, I'm going to fuck your shit up. You think that pool was some shit?
Yeah.
I remember what you did in that pool. I'm going to fucking wait till this baby goes to sleep. Fucking get ready. Get amped again.
Because that's the whole thing.
That's the whole, you got to have fun with your partner. You don't come home from having fun and it's like you're a dud.
Yeah.
And see you later. Then she gets on the phone with... First of all, how did he get your number? Because your husband pays all the fucking bills. He's got access to your fucking phone. There's no way she has the same number. How did she get the same number?
True.
How? So then that tells me that he had to go into Sasha's phone or Sasha gave him the number.
Yes, Sasha gave him the number.
Sasha had to have given him the number.
Absolutely.
So Sasha is still to date, a horrible fucking friend.
Horrible.
He calls her not at 5 p.m., not at 4 p.m., 10:30 at night. He thought this was the time to call her and tell her, not I'm sorry I fucked your friend. Not I'm sorry for how things ended. But I saw you tonight and you looked pretty good. I just wanted to let you know I still fuck you.
Was he talking? When did he say it? He saw her when
at the apartment.
At the meltdown.
Yes.
And he was like, God, it's just like I remember.
Yeah.
Our last encounter.
And then he had the nerve to call you and rub it in. You answered?
And you answered.
If my ex saw me acting this way, bitch,
and then I found out you were screwing my best friend. I hate you, hate him. I am trying to fix my marriage with my husband. I just had the most what the fuck kind of thing just happened with my husband and I. This was so out of the norm and it was so awesome. And then I answer my ex's call.
You have a chance in that moment to
make the right decision
and go, not only am I not answering this, I'm going to block your fucking number.
Yeah.
That's number one. But number two, I personally believe that her husband overheard her on the phone with Brad.
Oh, probably.
I think he overheard her because, by the way, we've all come to know Billie is not quiet. She whispers loud. She talks loud. She fucking comes loud. She's a loud bitch.
Yes.
You're telling me that he didn't hear her while he's just simply brushing his teeth in a bone quiet house?
Yeah.
And that's where the scene ends.
And there you go. So
that wraps up episode 1, episode 2.
Yes.
We hit it right on the mark. We're right on the mark.
Yes.
It's a very interesting show. It's going to be interesting for us to do 2 episodes, break, me rewatch them again, because I don't foresee me liking Billie any more than I mean, she to me is just a really big disappointment, but we're going to wait. We're going to see. Yeah. We're going to see what happens in the next 2 episodes.
I'll watch the next 2 episodes tonight.
What is the name of
the next episode? We all know what the fuck. We all know what the fuck happened. Okay, 3 is Empire State of Mind because they're talking about the long schlong.
The long schlong.
And 4 is New York. So, but there's no comma, so it's actually New York.
New York.
New York. But it's supposed to be like New York. New York. New York. Like New York. Like you're like calling your fucking pet name.
Anyways, oh, I see what you're saying.
There's no comma.
I'm very excited.
It's like those things where it says, like, I ate auntie. Like, I ate, comma, auntie.
Right.
If you don't have a comma, I ate auntie.
I ate auntie. You ate your auntie.
Yeah, Cider Ranch. From Pizza Plus. That's what I'm saying.
That's the best explanation.
I'm just saying. That's what everybody knows it. You have to have the comma for the pause.
Gotta use comma. The only time I don't care about a comma is if you're texting me rapidly. I don't care about punctuation at all.
Go through my texts and you will see my punctuation. drunk or not. I will.
No, you always have punctuation.
So bad.
You make me self-conscious about my punctuation to where I actually will send you something and I'm gonna hit send.
You go back and
then I'm like, God damn it, a comma, period.
Yeah, you're like, Britt's gonna read this as a run-on sentence and text me back and go, what'd you say?
I don't understand. I'm gonna be like, you fucking bitch. I know you fucking understood what the fuck I said. I fucking said I'll be late again. Okay, you know what I meant.
I'll be late again. And I'm
put
like,
a comma in there for again. Yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Make sure that you guys watch these 2 next episodes. Take notes. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, I had someone recently send me the cutest message. They were just like, I was going to send this, but I was too shy. I was like, please don't be shy.
Don't ever be shy.
Don't ever be shy. If you guys have something or feelings about Sex Life, episode 1 and 2 only, 1 and 2 only.
So we can answer it next episode.
So we can answer them for the next episode. Please send them because, I hate Billie.
I'm not a fan.
1000%. I can't stand this bitch. She really bothers me. And Sasha, you're the worst. I am all team. What's not Duncan.
Brad?
No,
Cooper.
The husband, Cooper. I am team Cooper.
I'm team Cooper also.
I am team Cooper.
Because when we get later into it, the fact that when he goes to Brad and says, just please help take care of my kids. Like, if you can just be a second dad, you tell me what fucking man.
Jesus Christ. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Okay, you guys. So make sure you log on to our website, which is thehatejournals.com. And of course, any questions, email us at thehatejournals@gmail.com.
Yes.
Of course, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at thehatejournals. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.